Do your own research and due diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me back on the show here, episode 117. Episode 117 today. Man, we got to talk about Dries. And, you know, with that being said, I think Dries is the only one. If you didn't make any money today, you made some money on Dries. If you didn't make any money today, I know you made some money on Dries. There was really no other stock you should have been playing. I mean, to be honest with you, there was really no other stock you should have been playing. Let me get back to the Dries chart. This is the Dries chart today. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Let me get this off here. And let's get to the show. Beautiful, beautiful gap up this morning. Let's go to the 5-day chart so we can see what's been going on here. All right, so yesterday, as you guys, I was in yesterday. And I took my 100%. I got out at about $5 way before it came back to sit at $5. But as I had told people in the Discord room, I was out at $5. I had an order waiting at $6 if it crossed $6. It never got there. But, not too bad today. Let me actually get off my drawings here and remove all my drawing indicators here. Remove all drawing tools. There we go. So the stock's sitting right now at 505. Now, here's the thing. Dries, what's going on, everybody in the chat room? Shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Who was first in the building? Londell Carter. What's good, man? Monkman, Lennox John, Money Manners, Bovash, Mario Martinez, Miguel Suarez, 00, Chase, Zach Taylor, Tigo, Q DeMayo, Bruce Cole. What's good, Bruce? Bill Betts. Shout out to Bill Betts. Kenneth Campbell, Jeff Thayer, Clay Vaughn, Arasto, Barry Parker, About My Money, Cali Girl. Who else is it? Nathan Qualls, Funny Man, Lawrence Kane, Tina Price, hello. Thank you for joining us. Town Biz, I think you changed your name. Town Biz. Or is that a different account? What's going on, Coralie? All right, so shout out to everybody in the chat room. People slowly coming into the room as well. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, going back to the stock again, Dries, DRYS, that was the pick of the day today. That was the first thing on our list, and that had to be your go-to stock today. 105% gained today on the stock. That is incredible. That means if you got in this morning, you were able to get basically everything you put in and more today. Oh man, I mean, you don't realize how hard it is to get gains like this in the market. You got people who aren't profitable for most of the year, but today they're profitable because of this one stock. Because of this one stock right here. 206, you're on the air. Mr. Lloyd, what's up, man?
Man, you need a nuclear bomb for that one.
Yes, indeed, man. This was incredible. Incredible 2 days in DRYS, man.
So I might have missed the boat, but hell, I said the same shit when it was at $4 last time. I was like, it's done. So I went ahead and bought me a lottery ticket with the little money I had left over in Robinhood. So I'll see what's going to happen. I mean, hell, I can't go wrong with it. So I got about $300 or $400 in there, so I'm not worried about it. But if it goes to that $70, I'll make sure I'll donate if I do, because the show has made me aware of this. So
yes, indeed.
Appreciate it, man. And also I appreciate the keeping me calm today on that SPX, man. It actually, as soon as the bell opened up, I went ahead and took my $230 and did not hesitate. So I appreciate it, man. And gold has went to the roof. I should have got some more GDX.
Yeah.
This morning, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna be greedy. I'll just take my $200 and find a new trade for tomorrow. But man, how you feel about Dries?
I like Dries, man. I'm a big fan of Dries. I think Dries will continue to do very, very well. But we have to break these volumes, though. If you guys remember, I mentioned that volume on Dries yesterday was $143 million traded in the stock that day. Now, the stock traded today over $756 million, nearly $1 billion traded in this stock alone, which only has a market cap of $33 million, and that's based on today's action. So we're talking about a stock that yesterday was only $17 million in terms of its valuation, trading over $755 million in the stock. So if we can get past that tomorrow, then we're going to have another big day. So I saw that this morning we passed that 145 by about 11:20. We were already at $200 million traded in the stock. I already knew this was going to be an amazing, amazing day. But again, this is a stock that has gone as high as $100 at one point. As high as $100 at one point. So we'll see, where Dries can go tomorrow. I have a feeling we can break 6 tomorrow. I have a feeling we can break 6 tomorrow if we get another gap up, which I believe we're going to. I already know we're going to have another strong morning. That's just a definite, because, again, all those people are going to come back home. They're going to see that triple-digit gain. They're going to want a piece of that. So I believe we're going to have another gap up tomorrow, and we'll see whether or not we can maintain that at 10:30, 10:15, after those trades are already processed.
And I feel pretty good about it, man. Actually, I got enough invested into where if I lost it, I wouldn't have to worry about it. But hell, I would be so pissed if it went up to $80 and everybody drinking margaritas and I'm still sipping on a damn cup of water while everybody having a good time. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And that $4,900 evaluation that somebody was giving, I mean, hell, that would be nice.
Man, so. Look, at the end of the day, we're still dealing with the $33 million company, and there was a fraud. There was a fraud article today written on the stock. I want to say it was. Let me see.
The Motley Fool?
Yes, the Motley Fool article. Did you read that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so I mean that was very interesting. I mean, if this first of all, folks, I got to talk about how the fact that this CEO is highly intelligent. I mean, this guy's playing money games here with this paper. But if he's getting away with it, man, it is what it is. Everything that he's doing is practically legal. It's not right, but it's legal.
Right, right. And your philosophy is, you don't care. You're just trading the chart. I mean, it could be a straight scam.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. It is probably a scam. But at the end of the day, man, the chart is winning for people, man. The chart is winning for people. We had a slow start yesterday, but today, everybody jumped in. Everybody jumped in, believed in it, and that's Dries for you. So we'll see how high this can go. We know how high it can go because we've seen these, this stock go up to Pluto, but we'll see what happens with DRYS tomorrow, man.
You know what kills me, man? If it was that much traded in a day, I mean, my expectation is that it would have been higher than $5, especially when you, I mean, have almost $1 billion in trading volume. Yeah. I mean, that's just, I still can't wrap my head around it. I mean, they must have a lot of outstanding shares if it's that much traded.
Well, it's actually very, very low float. What happens is that you're now trading with machines. I mean, you're basically having machines who are taking, 10,000 blocks going in for literally milliseconds, over and over again, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. That's how you generate that much volume, but only move 100%. So they're not necessarily holding these shares. They're literally trading through from 1 to 0. That's how, close these shares are being, sent in and out of the market. And you've got small investors who are taking small, really big bets, going in for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, making big gains, coming out. So they know how scary this stock is, and nobody wants to sit and wait and get shitted on. So they want to get in, get their profits, and come right back out, man.
Right. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see, man. So, appreciate it, Sal, man. I don't have any new stocks this year. I'm still watching to see what the hell Trump is doing here, because I feel like it has a huge impact on the market, and so we'll see what's going to happen. I'm listening to Nancy Pelosi now. Yeah. So hopefully something good comes out for the news tomorrow. But anyways, man, I got to go cook dinner for the wife since she ain't feeling well. But I appreciate everything you're doing, man.
Not a problem. Hey, Mr. Lloyd, last question before you get off the air. What do you think about gold tomorrow? Do you still see people showing anxiety about the market and still moving into gold, or are we done with this run?
Here's the thing, man. It really, to me, it really depends on what the hell is going on. Like, I mean, I keep my eyes on CNN, and I really feel like CNN really has an impact on what I decide to do in the morning. And, if Trump says something crazy, people get scared, and that's when you see the VIX rise, and so I can't tell you, man. I mean, it's really unpredictable, and I think what I'm doing is I'm just playing the chart, but I was a little nervous about SPX yesterday, and until you told me that the futures were down, I felt a little bit more confident. But I mean, until we get a little bit more, I don't know, man. Until we get a little bit more understanding what Trump is doing, I'm really nervous about trading, because I'm just afraid to lose it all. So I'm just trading very conservatively. But I'll look into it tonight, man, and see how I feel about it. But GDX is just, I mean, is that the main stock that you're trading, or just gold in general?
Right now, GDX is the main stock I'm trading right now. Well, the main ETF I'm trading right now is GDX. JNUG and the couple other ones actually outperformed GDX today, but obviously GDX a little bit more affordable than the other ETFs. But yes, I have a position, a long call on deep in the money $23 strike on GDX. So whatever moves, hopefully we get another big move tomorrow, but we'll see. I did see the market really absorb this whole Muslim ban thing, but I'm looking. I'll be checking on the price of gold as the show goes on, and we'll see.
When's your expiration date on that?
That one is for not this week, for next week, the 10th. The 10th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How much you get the shares for?
I'm going to have to say anywhere between like 75 and 85, I believe.
Okay, that's bad, man.
Yeah, it was not. It wasn't too high today. It wasn't too high today. 75 a contract, I believe. I'd have to log back in, but.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I might jump on that bandwagon. Just depends on what's said tonight, and in the morning, I'll definitely let you know. I'm sorry, I'm a little late on the responses. Unfortunately, with this new job, is kind of holding me down.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, you know what? Hey, man, I do have to share something with you.
Go ahead.
So, in this new job, I have to drive a vehicle, so they required that I get an EKG done, right?
Okay.
So I went and got this EKG done. There's some 400-pound, well, I ain't going to say 400, probably 350. It got a stomach hanging over. So I'm laying in I noticed he was kind of feminine. So I'm laying on this little small bed, and, I took my shirt off. And so he leans over me, and, it's like his stomach was like over my arm. Like, you can, it was like in between his, it's like.
Yeah, his rolls
in between.
and his penis.
I was like, okay, hold on, man. I mean, I ain't never had no shit like this.
Yeah,
I mean, you might. I mean, I get that at the barber occasionally. You know how they just kind of scoot. Matter of fact, it's just like the barber. You know how he just scoots in too close and his balls almost touch you.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. Yeah, like, okay, man, come on, get your off me real quick.
Man, I had the whole EKG. This man's arm was like around my his stomach was around my arm, and. I was just kind of weird, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to say something, but I was like, no, hell, he might say I'm having a heart attack or something, then I can't drive. So, but yeah, man, that was just kind of a freaky experience. Anyways, I had to share something.
Okay.
Anyways, everybody have a good one, man, and don't get no EKG with a fat man. That's all I got to say.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, Mr. Lloyd.
All right, now, have a good one. All right.
All right. So Mr. Lloyd letting us know he was basically molested today. Yeah, Mr. Lloyd was unfortunately taken advantage of at the office today, at the doctor's office or whatever clinic he was at. Unfortunately. All right. So yeah, I watched the whole thing. Donald Trump today, he just announced his pick. We'll talk more about it on Friday's show. I guess he's Harvard educated, Oxford. It is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, those people come and go just like everybody else. All right, just like everybody else. All right, moving on. Let's see. Today we had another pick, JAGX, Jaguar Animal Health. I was even playing with this one on the platform. Let me see here. Jaguar Animal Health. And this was really interesting because this was a stock that released news that, and they it was really interesting because Yahoo Finance kind of manipulated it a little bit. They said that Jaguar Animal Health entered an agreement with Eli Lilly. Nah, not necessarily. They entered an agreement with a subsidiary of Eli Lilly, which is very loosely owned by them, by the way. I mean, I think it's like 51% ownership. But the news came out at like 5 a.m. that Jaguar Animal Health entered a collaboration agreement for development and co-production of their Canalvia drug. And it's with a subsidiary of Eli Lilly called Elanco. And they are providing Elanco with the license rights to that drug, all right, which is a candidate for the treatment of diarrhea in dogs and other companion animals. So that's why the stock ran today, JAGX. Now, here's what's interesting about this stock is that it always gives it all back. All right, it always gives its gains back. So I don't expect this to be a multiple day runner, although it's very powerful news because as you can see from the chart, the stock in itself was going through a lot of bearish action as we approach the new year. And, it's had opportunities where news came out and it's done incredible, on that day, but it never holds. It never holds. And up, actually as high as almost 70% today, but it never, held its gains. Never held its gains. But did very well today, though. Did very, very well today. JAGX. That was the stock today. Another one that was on our list last night, TXTM. That was another one, Protex Mobility, that was on our list last night that a lot of people did very, very well in. TXTM really knocked it out the park yesterday, man. I think the stock, I want to say yesterday, we were up well over 50% again in the stock. Let me see actually here. 50% in the stock. And this is a stock that's been going very well for some time. In fact, if we look at the 30-day chart, you'll see the action over the last 30 days. So the gains keep on rolling in. For TXTM. How far this can go, I don't know. But for those people who are in it, TXTM continues to put on gains. Over $800,000 traded in the stock today. That is higher than what it was yesterday. So shout out to TXTM and their investors. 772 Treasure Hunter, you're on the air. Oh, just hung up. Call me back, Treasure Hunter. 28.9% gain in that stock today on TXTM. And it's holding. I mean, it's holding, Here's another stock that's up a lot, and it's holding its gains up there at 0042. Looks like you got some support up there. And I watched this very, very carefully. And it's kind of sad because this is another stock where, again, It fades throughout the day. As you can see here, you got some gaps in the chart there. So we got some fading volume action. But you got to be in this in the morning to really experience the gains. We had a move down this morning, but it looks like investors bought those cheap shares, rallying it up higher to a high of almost 0056. The stock settled at 0049 for the day. So TXTM, another stock that's going to be on our list again tomorrow night, or for tonight, excuse me, for tomorrow. TXTM, not bad today at all for that stock, man. I think when you see an OTC stock like that rallying and actually doing very well, take a little bit of a swing at it, and that's what's great about playing these doubles, these triples, is that you don't have to risk a lot of capital because you get these kind of moves, 28, 30%, 50%. So you can put $100 and turn it into, 130, 140, 150, and, be able to walk out, give your commission to the broker and then still walk out with some profit. All right. That's why people love Dries today. It's because it's moving like an OTC penny stock. You can put up $500, $1,000, come back out with a ton of cash. It's moving just like an OTC stock. And that's why people are loving it. All right. So let's hope that liquidity sticks around for Dries and TXTM tomorrow. All right. Let's see. I see somebody talking about Cannabis. And Cannabis was, slightly down today on the stock on Cannabis. This is one that's really been of an interest to a lot of you guys. Cannabis Science. 772, you're on the air. What's up?
What's happening? Sal? What's happening with
Treasure Hunter, what's good with you, man?
Man, it was a pretty good day in the market today, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me see. Dries, still in him for a minute. Kind of scared me a little bit, so I did sell little shares, but not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That little drop towards the end of the day, around about 3 something, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Give or take. Yep. But I did do pretty good on my double zero play. It's still holding this 1 cent gain.
Okay.
IVFZF.
Yeah. IBF. IVF.
IVFZF.
Yeah, that one is, man. I don't even know if that one's. Has anyone even bought that, man? It's down right now.
You say that every time, bro.
Well, I mean, because every time I pull it up on a chart, it's only saying 150 shares traded. So I don't know.
Okay.
It like never changes.
Then again, I secretly was making a nice little fortune on my expensive plays. I do love my penny stocks, but let me run one by you. REGN. I want to, from your fancy indicators, let me know if that bad boy going to keep running.
Yeah, REGN is a very, very expensive stock. This is basically, a pharmaceutical company on the likes of like a Merck or, an Eli Lilly that just hasn't split yet. I mean, the stock is, $360. It's a behemoth of a business. Yeah, it's a behemoth of a business, a $36 billion market cap. Trading at about 50 times earnings.
Oh, whoa. Back this up. Sorry to cut you off, Sal. Did you say something about a damn stock split?
Well, no, it's not going to split. It should have. I mean, this is a stock that should have been split.
Man, I got hit 3 times with that split shit, bro. Finally got my
no. This is not going to split anytime soon. I mean, this is a stock that I've read articles in the past before, like it should have been split a long time ago. But they're up there in the 3-digit category, and they plan on staying up there. The stock ran up in November as a Trump stock. It looks like he gave it back based on maybe a couple failures here and there. But other than that, the stock's $359 right now. You're off you're off again that November high, which is $450. But again, very, very expensive stock. Way out of my league on that one.
Man, it's all played. You got that capital for it.
Well, not for as big of a block as that's going to make sense for me to trade it. That's the problem. But REGN, man, hey, if it's pulled in almost $14 today in the stock alone, it trades almost 1 million shares a day. So that's a lot of money going into the stock. And for expensive, how expensive it is still pretty liquid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it, reaches four, like you said, back to highs and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It might be in the red tomorrow, but you know what I'm saying. It made a nice little pop today,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And those are my plays, and shot goes out to you. And then again, I gotta say, shot goes out to Big Shaq too. Been meaning to give a little shout out to him.
Yes. Yes. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call, Treasure Hunter.
You got it, brother. Anytime, man.
All right. So yeah, Treasure Hunter going back to those expensive stocks, going back to those more expensive stocks, which isn't bad. It's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing anymore. Those things make some money. Those things make some money. So we'll see what happens with that one. Speaker Knocker, you're talking about Free F. Yeah, Free F is the triple. I was watching Free F today as well. Thought maybe a move could come across Free F, but nothing off top. I saw Patrick Roberts, BPMX, 49 cents gain in the stock today. Biopharma. This is another one that kind of needs a little bit of news to really have it cranking. But the 30-day chart is beautiful in BPMX. So this stock is slowly finding some support here. Let me see what this primary trend, though. Still pretty negative on the 1-year chart. But looks like you're leveling out here. Your breakout is, 81 cents. So BPMX, finding a lot of volume in December. A lot of volume in December. You might want to go back and do some research and find out what all that volume was about. But looks like it's looking pretty good. You got more volume in this new year than you had pretty much toward the end of the last year in BPMX. So you got some bargain hunters going into that stock. Hey, Treasure Hunter, you're back on. What's up?
Hey, this isn't Treasure Hunter. This is a different guy.
Oh, 772. Okay, what's up, man?
Hey, I just had a couple questions, a couple stock picks.
Okay.
Wanted to see if you could fuck with it.
All right, who am I speaking with?
Phil.
Phil, okay. All right, Phil, what you got for us?
I wanted you to go over OWCP and MJMJ again. So that would be cool.
All right, so OWCP, this one, had a really, incredible December, for the stock. And January 2 found its highs. I see there it got up to almost at 95 cents. There was a lot of talk on blogs, especially Investors Hangout, that it could crack $1. Never really made it, pulled back. And now I'm feeling like, we're seeing a lot of fading in the volume. In fact, when I go to, let me see here, Yahoo Finance, we're losing a lot of strength on volume in the stock. So I when I see that, that lets me know that, this could be done. Unless we start seeing some real news coming out in terms of maybe some agreements or, them really collaborating maybe with a larger company that could really bring some new money to the stock. Other than that, I'm seeing a lot of, let me see here on the volume chart. So yeah, as you see, January 20th, we were at 5.4 million shares. Then we went to 3, we went to 2, then we're down now to 1.4. We did have 2.8 today, but obviously that was a lot of selling. But we were seeing declining volume into the stock, but today was the outlier. But that's my opinion on it. What do you think? Do you actually think it could find some support here and retest that high?
I don't know. I have it long term, so I got laxed today by it. I had a bunch of shares, so I'm wondering if I should just get out now and try to get a little better deal on.
Yeah, I personally would take profits. Again, today was the only outlier where we traded 2.8. And again, that wasn't even, we had more sellers than buyers today, obviously. But, we were declining since the 20th, really, in volume every single day. We're getting lower and lower in volume. So it looks like people were taking their bags and going home. But what other stocks do you have for us?
MJMJ, I saw you mention that yesterday. Had a up and down day. I also have had that for long term, so I don't know. So
MJMJ. I actually like MJMJ long term as well. I mean, for 000, 16%. That's pretty much a sideways day. That's nothing for that. So, 0005. If anything, if somebody's looking to go long and is patient, I would get in here at these prices at 0005.
Right.
I think the momentum is still behind it. I think you still have some people who want to see this, get into the double zeros. So MJ, and they're still putting out news. I mean, they're still active. They've got a really aggressive forum on Investors Hub as well. So I actually like this long term. In fact, I think you got more potential in MJ going into the doubles than you have in OWCP trying to retest the dollar.
Awesome, I appreciate that. If you could do one more, CVSI. I don't know if you've looked into that in the past.
Yeah, CVSI. We talked about that one yesterday, and that's another stock that again volume is kind of drying up in. But this is the only and this thing too as well. They position themselves as a cannabis biotech play, but they're not doing any research. That's the problem that's really bothering me. They're not actually performing anything. So how long can you justify these 50-cent, 48-cent stock price when people realize, okay, what exactly are you doing right now? And that's the problem with CVSI. So if you're up big in that, I think you can sell here and possibly buy it back a lot cheaper in a week or two.
Awesome. I appreciate the help, man. Love your show.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, man. Call back anytime.
Take care.
All right. So, he's got really good picks. I mean, these were really good picks like a month ago. A month ago, these would be really good picks, but now they're drying up. Now they're drying up. CVSI, OWCP. I think if you look at both of those stocks, a week from now, you're going to be at lower prices. So I would take profits and move on both of those stocks. MJ, though, I like MJ and MJ. 000, I think he's got a lot of momentum. You got certain kind of investor at that price that's just, going to be in there for a long term. And, you'll see that happen. Vapor Group. Shout out to the guy who brought up Vapor Group yesterday. VPOR. Somebody brought that up yesterday as well. Shout out to the guy who brought that up yesterday. But, Vapor Group reminds me again, just like, an MJ, where you have a stock that's in the triples, right? Wasn't doing anything. Sure enough, it funnels for a while. People are indecisive of where it's going to go. And then all of a sudden you find some support. And, some buyers willing to hold on to the stock, and now you're in the 00 territory and possibly moving higher. So Vapor Group, not bad. Vapor Group, again, this is a stock if you're willing to be a little bit patient. I think, why not go into double 20, double 30, double 40 territory? But you're going to have to be a little bit patient. We had some huge volume come in today, which broke it higher, as you can see here. But it was pretty stable for the most part. But huge volume buying coming in today. For whatever reason, I didn't see in the article. Let me see here. New Concepts, Vapor Group, huge success. So they put out an article today, all right, talking about their huge success of a product called Easy Grinder. Not sure what that's about. You're going to have to do your research on that one. But again, you can't really go wrong for those triples that have volume, that are putting on news, that are active. You just got to be patient for them. And MJ is a good one. And I think you can see MJ at where Vapor Group is right now, 0016, with some time. Yeah, with some time. Yeah. We'll definitely see that, man. What's going on, Bovash? URRE, $2 a share. Now, URRE, we were really excited about this stock earlier this year, and it kind of pulled back away from us. And it kind of pulled back away from us as gold declined, slowly but surely. And today's higher gold prices didn't have as big of an effect on the stock as I thought it would. As you can see, URRE had a really great early January, but it's faded out towards the end of the month. And, what does next month look like for URRE? That's left to be seen. We were really excited about this stock going into 2017, and, it's kind of underperformed now, and, whether or not we can get back to the threes is yet to be seen. Is very yet to be seen. But we're showing oversold here on the RSI. So for somebody who's looking to go long, this might be a good spot for you to get in and see what it can do. You have support here at 214, which is where the stock was back on the 18th. So we've got good support here at 214, 210. I'd love to see it retest 250, 260. But right now, pretty low on the RSI, so a pretty low risk bet for somebody looking to go long on URRE. All right. Yeah, definitely that. Let's bring a lot of people bringing up GSPT. What is GSPT? Gold Star Enterprises. GSPT. Gold Star Enterprises. Did they recently change their name? Okay, no, this is a different stock. Okay, I was thinking it was GSS. Are they related businesses? GSS and Gold Star Enterprises? Because GSS is Golden Star Resources. So GSS. This is the Amex play. It's another gold mining play, GSPT. And by the way, if you like gold, by the way, too, no, it looks like they're in whole different businesses. GS, Golden Star Enterprises, OTC stock, 6 cents a share, up 3 cents today. Very spotty buying, man. Very, very spotty buying, low volume. Yeah, look, this is, only 16,000 shares today. As you can see, there were just a couple big block purchases and sales throughout the chart. GSPT up 100%, but only 16,000 shares traded. There's no volume here for us to really consider this as something to look into. All right, Mylan. No volume on that one. You don't get yourself stuck on anything here. Let me see here. NAVB. This is another one that's been declining heavy over the course of a year and a half. Let's go over a year. Here's a year in the stock. And NAVB, another stock that when it has great news, it pops, but it never holds its gains. As you can see here, you had some pops, some gap ups. Sure enough, it gives it all the way back. So NAVB, it's a stock to catch when something's running. You had some news come out 2 days ago, NAVB. And I think, let me see here on my Excel sheet, the last time we talked about this stock, December. Let me look at the 90-day. Okay, so yeah, we talked about it back in December, but actually, I'm glad nobody really took that. But nothing really came out of NAVB. So NAVB, it's a stock that's just losing money. Today up 22% based on that news that came out a couple of days ago now, 2 days. But again, this is a stock that, 1 million shares traded. For a stock this cheap, you'd like to see a lot more. But NAVB, again, as you can see on the 1-day chart, very spotty buying in the stock. Not enough to even really create an RSI. So I'd move on that one. All right. Yeah, we talked about JAGX. We like JAGX today, but not for tomorrow. I don't see the news as being strong enough. I mean, a subsidiary of Eli Lilly. How much the investment is, we don't know because we weren't really given those numbers. And, the stock was already giving away its gains. This is another stock that, again, gives its gains every time it's up. You've got a lot of people in GAGX that are stuck at higher prices. This is a stock, that traded at higher prices. In fact, I have a video. I believe I have a video where I called this stock a scam. I called this stock a scam when it was trading in the 120, 130 area. So you got a lot of people who are stuck in this stock and are looking for any reason to sell it at a better price than where they are now. So sure enough, yeah, when the stock did what it did today, they were out of there. So, it's I think be very, very careful on this one. Be very, very careful. As you can see here, here's the gap up this morning in the stock. And sure enough, they rode the chart. And as soon as they saw any kind of, funneling action going on, they were out of there towards the end of the day because they know what's going to happen tomorrow. They already know what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay. NAVB is a James Bond pick, Bovash. Well, go figure, right? And and Bond, if you're listening, man, we'd love to have you back on the show again, man. But again, that's what happens when guys call up they give these stock picks, and the pick doesn't go their way, and they disappear. But if I say something wrong, I'm still here the next day. And that's the difficulty of having guys call up and give their take, because you don't know if this guy's, really, he really did some kind of research on it, or he's just bullshitting people. That's the take on it. MMEG was a runner not too long ago. We were really excited about MEG beginning of this month. As you can see at the beginning, actually end of last month, beginning of this month, December, MMEG was one of our big gainers for December. MMEG was for 2 days in a row, was on like one of the first stocks on our list in December. Was really nice Christmas gift for a lot of investors. Here was another stock that literally went from 0010 to 0060, high of actually 0069, right? 0069. Here was a stock that, again, and by the way, the move was like 4 days. It was like 4 days. It went from 0010 to 0069, almost like 500%. You had guys posting up on Profitly as well as on Twitter. They're showing their $1,000 investment, turning into $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Incredible. They were finding the volume to sell those amount of shares too. Because again, if you buying a double 10 stock with $1,000, that's a lot of shares. But they found the volume to liquidate, and they were walking out of there with several $1,000s just 3 or 4 days after purchasing. Yeah, huge volume came into the stock during, as you can see here, at that time on the stock. Big move. Now, can it do that again? Who's to say it can't? Who's to say it can't? So this is a really interesting move breaking out of here. Again, a stock that was in double 10, breaking out now double 17. You might be able to catch it on a pullback here. Up 50% today on 43 million shares traded. You might be able to catch it on a pullback, see if it's trying to run again. If it's trying to run again, this is the stock I'll definitely be watching. I'll definitely be watching this one. Yeah, I'll definitely be watching that one, because we know what it can do, and it could very well explode. MMG, because MMG is a stock that moves very, very quickly. So, give it about a week, it should be at its top, whatever that is, if it's got the momentum. I tweeted BKIT, Blake Insomnia Therapeutics. This is a very well-known pump and dump that's been around for years. PKIT. This was a stock that is being pumped by soaring picks, and I captured it on my own here at 121 when they sent out an alert, and sure enough, it's lower. So until I see that turn around, I wouldn't touch BKIT. This is one of his name. What's his name? The penny stock egghead, Nathan. I forgot his name. I want to say it's like Nathan Gold or some crap like that. Some fake ass pseudonym he's probably using. But he owns a couple, different websites he promotes from. He sent out an email on BKIT at 90 cents today, 5.6 or 5 cents gain on the stock today, 6% for the day. But it's a piece of shit company. I wouldn't play the pump if I were you. All right. REDG. REDG. That's another 2014 ticker. That's another 2014 ticker, 2013 ticker. If you go back in the history in RDG, you'll see all the moves were way back then, 2014, 2013 ticker. I remember RDG. RDG was a company that had, supposedly had some like rappers and all that. Kind of remind me of that PMCM company. I don't know if they're even trading. PMCM. Yeah, PMCM is another one. PMCM, and that one, I don't know if PMCM is still in business or not. I think it's got like a couple trillion shares outstanding. But those, REDG and PMCM, those are both artist management companies, movie companies, quote unquote, and they sign basically played out rappers to pretend like they're really doing something, but they're really not. 662, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, it's Trace, man.
Hey,
My name's Trace.
Oh, okay. You said your name is Trace?
Yeah, Trace.
Okay. All right, Trace. Well, appreciate your call, man. What you want to talk about
Yeah,
today?
listen, man. I just wanted to ask you a question. So I've been following you the last week or two. I like your show. I think you're doing a jam-up job, man. I'm just kind of getting into the penny stock game here.
Okay.
And for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been really involved with more currencies and mostly virtual paper trade type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that, man, to be honest with you. I mean, I just haven't, maybe it's my trade rules or something. I don't really know what's going on. But I kind of like to maybe try my hand at the penny stock.
Okay.
And I was wondering what I know you use a stock spinner, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering what type of search criteria you utilized in order to get a list of penny stocks that you'd like to maybe look at for the day or upcoming days or whatever.
Okay, well, I definitely appreciate the question. When I'm looking for a penny stock, particularly a stock under, I'm going to say an OTC stock, for example, that's running, I like to look for volume. And whatever screener you're using, I'm sure they've got that criteria for you to input. So I'm looking for, price anywhere between, 0010 to, 00, maybe 0090. And I'm looking for volume of at least, 5 to maybe even 10 million. Starting at 5 and then just kind of leaving the second blank. You should probably have the ability to, make it be OTC, so only OTC stocks showing up. If not, just leave it blank. Sometimes they won't give you, the criteria to choose that. But again, it depends on what you're using to scan because, each scanner has different criteria. Some of them don't even pull up OTC stocks. Some of them won't even pull up stocks under $1. What is your broker, by the way? I'm just kind of curious.
Well, I opened up an account with Capital One because they're $6.95 a trade, but I've since found out that they had like a 007 for anything under $1 in commission, and I'm like, I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah,
that's a little expensive in my book. So I thought maybe I know I've watched several of your episodes. You kind of recommend TD Ameritrade. I was going to maybe look into them.
Yeah.
I don't have any practice with their platform.
Yeah.
I don't think. Do you think that would be a good one as far as
no doubt about it. TD Ameritrade, again, 5 minutes to open. It's free of charge. You can start playing with their screener, playing with their software. No maintenance fees at all. So, you don't even have to put any money in it just to really start getting a feel for it. And that's something you can start doing tonight if you want. And, they've got a really good screen for stocks, for us, in order to pick up OTC stocks. And, everything that we talk about here, you can purchase on TD Ameritrade. But again, if you're looking to get into stocks that cheap, you want to make sure that they've got volume. That's the most important thing because you don't want to end up being trapped in one of those things. So if you're talking about triples, you're looking for double-digit millions shares being traded. So 10 million plus. If you're talking about triples, if you're talking about in the pennies or higher, or a penny or higher, then you're talking about maybe 1 million plus for volume. That's where you would like to be if in anything a cent or higher.
I see. Yeah. Okay. One other thing I wanted to ask you about as far as when you place an order, do you typically go at the market or do you place a limit order?
Well, always limit order. You never ever want to put I don't care how long you've been trading, you never want to buy at market because you got to remember a market order guarantees you an order but doesn't guarantee you a price. A limit order doesn't guarantee you an order, but guarantees you a price. You always want to have the guarantee on the price, right? Because, you don't want to get filled at a price you didn't agree to, you know. But when you put a market order, you're basically saying, I have money. I don't care what you sell it to me at. Just let me in. And if you wanted to buy at 0030, you can get filled at 0055. I mean, that's basically what you're saying. I mean, so you always want to use a limit order. I don't believe there's any brokers out there that allow you to trade pennies with a market order, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody will allow you to do that. But I would never, ever trade an OTC stock at market, always with a limit order, because you can guarantee yourself that price you're agreeing to. Yeah.
I did have one little ticker I'd like to look at if you don't mind. If you got a minute.
Go ahead.
It is Red Hawk Holdings. It's IDNG.
IDNG?
Yes, sir. IDNG.
Independence Energy?
Yes, and it should come up as Red Hawk Holdings. I think they changed names or something. That's what it used to be, yes.
Okay, Red Hot. Okay. Yeah, I do see here they did change their name, Red Hawk.
What I like about that particular company is that they don't have any debt. I don't know exactly. I mean, I believe they do medical devices, something of that sort. But and they've been in the news, I guess, here in the last month or so. I listened to the Uptake Network as well on iHeartRadio and listened to the CEO talk about some of the things they've got upcoming this year, and it sounded pretty good to me. But like I said, I'm just kind of new to the penny game anyway. I was wondering what you thought about that on that candlestick chart you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stock now, trying to see what here's the 1 year. So we're looking like we've kind of been funneling now for some time. I see this. I mean, the stock is active though. The company's active. OTC QB, so they've got higher listing. I'm seeing some Form 4s. Now this Daniel, because it sounds like you've done your research on it. This Daniel Schreiber, who's unloading here, what's his percentage? Okay, he's a 10% or higher owner. Do you know his relations to the company?
Man, I do not.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I do not know his relations.
Okay, yeah, because I see he's unloading here almost every month. I'm seeing a Form 4 where he's unloading anywhere between 10,000 shares, and then he's got this one that came out a month ago where he unloaded 225,000 shares. So I hate to see a 10% owner unloading like that. The last one he just put out was January 20th. So why is he selling? Being that, you know, the stock it's not like the stock is running for him to sell it and capture profit. So he's just basically unloading into the market, and I don't see the reasoning for it. So that would be curious.
Does that dilute the stock when they do that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's putting out more, you know, with a guy who owns 10% plus of the company, and I don't know how big it could be. You know, he could own 30%. Who knows? I'd have to go through the financials. Sure. You know, but he has to report all his sales as someone who owns at least 10% of the company. The float, you know, only 140 million shares, if that's still right, which I probably don't think it is because it looks like it was updated back in June. You know, yeah, but this is one I'd have to do some research on. I don't know anything about this company. Red Hawk Holdings, medical devices, as you said, commercial real estate, full body security system. So they're kind of all over the place in terms of their business.
Right.
But
I do believe, if I remember correctly, he was their stock was trading when it was Independence Energy. I think was up there pretty close to $1. And I believe when they were taking over, they changed their names like that. They had some sort of merger or something, or a company bought them, or something to that effect. If I remember correctly, that actually left them with some real estate debt or something like that. They're in the process of getting rid of.
Yeah, I definitely see that they had way back when in 2013 they had some really, really awesome runs. 2013, 2012, they had a really awesome run back then. But since then, I haven't seen anything too impressive in the stock. But now we're kind of fuddling at this 1 penny mark here. So I think honestly there's some better companies you can look at with a lot more volume moving in. I'm not sure what's going on with this company, but I honestly would probably take my money somewhere else.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. Now, how do I get into your chat room, man? I think I'm struggling with that.
Oh yeah, just be on YouTube, be live. You're watching it right now, so you probably don't have a YouTube account or a Gmail account or a Google account to be honest with you. You might want to see if you can get signed up with YouTube or Gmail or anything like that, so you can be able to chat with me, in the chat room. But how are you watching me, on a computer or on a phone or what?
Yeah, man, I can't really watch that much. I'm a over-the-road long-haul truck driver. I'm rolling down the interstate.
Oh, okay.
And,
yeah.
So I got you on my iPhone, and I subscribe to your channel.
Okay.
And I pretty much listen to you rather than, because I can't really watch.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, and definitely be safe on the road. But yeah, man, it's typically, if you're watching me on the phone, it'll be underneath the video, so you'll be at the bottom. The chat room will be at the bottom of the video, and you'll be able to chat in there. If you're a subscriber, then I know you got an account. But go ahead and focus on the road, man. Again, I appreciate your call, and call back anytime.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your time.
Not a problem. Thank you. All right. Appreciate that subscriber for calling me. Bringing IDNG up. This is a stock that's done some things. It's done some things way back when, but it looks like it got bought out. New company now. You've got a guy who's unloading, which could be something he's doing intentionally, right? So because sometimes when a company gets taken over, maybe it doesn't have enough float. It doesn't have enough float, so the bid and ask spreads are too high or too so he's liquidating to even out the bid and ask spreads and have more float out there. So it might not be a bad thing, but we got to make sure that's the case. And maybe having somebody, if you're interested in investing in it, give the company a call and find out, hey, what are you guys doing? What's the future of the business? If you're an investor, don't hesitate to reach out to these companies. I've said this before on the show, that if you call these companies, 9 times out of 10, the guy who picks up the phone is the CEO of the company. Sometimes a vice president, a major director. You can speak to these people who run these businesses, and it's not like calling, Apple or something like that, where you'll probably never get, to the big head man. But these OTC stocks, sometimes it's the guy's cell phone. I mean, that's how close you really are to some of these CEOs of these small businesses. Okay, think of them as small. They're just small, independently wealthy people who have started these businesses to hopefully, which you think that's what they're doing, to turn it into multi-billion-dollar companies. All right. Miguel Suarez, what's up, man? LTRX. We still got to get a good list for today. I haven't, I don't see really any really good stocks really to look into, to swing right now. LTRX, this is a stock up 10% today. What was the news here on LTRX? Why is this up 10%? Why is this up 10%? Shout out to Equity Feed. I'm going to find here in my Equity Feed scanner. The last news I see on LTRX, again on my Equity Feed streaming news search, it comes up back in January 26th. The company reported net revenue for the second quarter of 2017, $11.2 million. LTRX is described as a global provider of secure data access and management solutions for the Internet of Things and information technology assets. So they reported their earnings for second quarter fiscal year 2017, which ended December 31st for them. They reported net revenue of $11.2 million, gross profit increase of almost 51%, not bad. Gross profit margin Yeah, that was increased. GAAP net income $41,000. Okay, so net income is pretty low, but again, profit is profit. Cash on hand right now about $6.7 million. All right, not bad. Sales of companies' IoT products grew by 17%. Sales of IT management products grew by 72% during that quarter. All right, so really good fundamentals in LTRX. Really good fundamental in LTRX. As you can see, that was responsible for that breakout. Kind of a little bit of a delayed reaction. It actually responded accordingly because you can see that news came out on the 26th, 27th, responsible for the news, and investors are loving it. LTRX looking like a nice buy and hold right now. That's a nice looking chart too. That's a nice looking chart. LTRX. I'll put that on watch, man. I'll put that on watch because that's news that a lot of these companies need to be putting out. That hey, we're actually doing some real business and looking to to become major. 235 right now a share, market cap of 37 million. 114 employees, about 800,000 shares traded today. Average volume is about 300,000. So nice move right now in LTRX, and you've gained almost a dollar. Well, about 75 cents a share right now, from $1.60. You're at 233 now. Yeah, I'm using equity feed. All right. Which one, Big Zini? HVU? Let's see here. HVU. Oh, nope, not that one. Hold on. HVU. Is that HVU? Nah, that's not what we're looking for, man. I'm not getting a stock under HVU. Not a US based stock here. I'm getting this Canadian based play, unless this is what you wanted to look at. But I prefer a US based stock. Somebody brought up ASTI comeback. I doubt it. I don't care what ASTI does right now. ASTI 0037. I mean, so many people have been shitted on by this company. I don't know why anybody would want to trade ASTI right now. So many people. Again, this is a stock we looked at. I looked at it today, actually. I see here. I marked it myself today. As I saw that one trending. Let me see here. Yeah, so many people have been shitted on by ASTI. I don't know why anybody would want to participate in this. Here's ASTI after its run back in just after the elections. And this is the chart. I mean, this is the last 3 months and 4 months actually in ASTI. Why anybody would want a piece of this, is beyond me. But ASTI, this is a stock that just 6 days ago plunged over 49%, man. It's very, very volatile, very, very scary to invest. And again, I just think you've got some better opportunities out there. Why you would want to mess with that, I don't know. But ASTI, you still got a lot of gamblers. You got a lot of gamblers who love ASTI and what they can get out the stock. Because yes, it can wake up one day and run 70%. We've seen that before. But then the next day you're giving it all back. Everybody's running for the door. Canadian dollars can be converted. Yeah. Oh yeah, Big Zini, I know. Canadian, you can trade Canadian stocks and buy Canadian things, but at the end of the day, a lot of the liquidity that you need isn't there when we talk about Canadian stocks. So if I'm taking my $250, moving it into Canadian, now I'm a bigger player on the Canadian stage. I'm getting a ton of shares, but when it comes for me to get out, it takes 5-10 minutes to get filled because I can't get the volume I need to get out. That's the problem with Canadian stocks. When you trade Canadian stocks, very rarely do you instantly get filled. Very rarely do you instantly get filled. MJTK, this is that Cannabis system, stock. This is another one that's been struggling to break out of the double zeros. This is a stock that's had some runs. You've got a lot more stable OJ or MJ plays out there. But, this is another one that had a pump recently. As recent here as January. Beginning of January was on our list. Beginning of January. And it did a run to as high as a penny. I mean, you want to talk about returns. Look at that, man. Look at that return, dude. That was like a 4-day move. This is just a 4-day move for the stock. This is another stock that went from 0016 to a high of, what was that? To a high of 0.018. To a high of by 0.18. This is incredible, man. When you see some of these opportunities that you could have been a part of, it's absolutely incredible. That's the thing, but it's really hard to capture these moves. There's so many stocks to play, so many, tickers, and you don't know what's real, what's fake. So it's a little bit of luck, some research, but also a little bit of luck as well in a lot of these plays. All right. And that was, 1,000% gained from January 12th to January 17th. But as I said, 5 days. All right. So 5 days. I was a day off. So 5 days, 1,000% gain, and 5 days in MJTK. All right. Can it do it again? It's got to find the floor first. As you can see, that's basically what it's trying to do. When we look at MJTK, it's looking to find a floor to bounce off of, and it hasn't done that so far. Looks like he had a little bit of a wick there at 0059, which is where we are now, but it looks like it probably will break through that tomorrow. What's going on, Sinclair? AMD? AMD's been struggling, my man. AMD's been struggling. AMD was a stock that I really loved at these highs. We were talking about $10 AMD, $11 AMD, $12. Got to $12 and hit a brick wall. And this is a stock that I was playing a lot of options on. As you can see on my lines there on support and resistance lines on a daily chart, I was tracking the stock. And sure enough, it's given it all back. Somewhat, not all of it, obviously, but it's found some support there at the 970, 980. And looking to make a return. Slowly but surely, AMD giving back a little bit of those Trump profits that it's recovered since November. As you can see here, literally the day after Trump got elected, the stock continued to run very aggressively into January. And it's cooled down a little bit. So trying to find its momentum again, AMD. So we'll see what AMD can do. I still think it's kind of expensive, though, based on, why it's running. We're basically running on the idea that he's going to implement a low tax plan that's going to help corporations like AMD. But we haven't gotten any notice of that. And right now we've got a lot of hesitation in the markets. We had a recent article come out today on Market Watch, which was very interesting. It came out just before the close. It's called Trump Administration's Comments on the Dollar Don't Add Up, Say Traders. And you had a couple traders, talking about how you have the Trump administration, looking to close off or add, tariffs to America in terms of its imports, which would actually raise the value of the dollar. But at the same time, we're looking to grow our businesses, grow our enterprises here in America, right, internationally. So we need a low dollar. So where are we at right now, And the article literally starts off saying that the Trump administration needs to decide because it can't have both. All right, it cannot have both. So now you've got traders who are looking at the euro and saying the euro is now very, very, very undervalued. So are we going to continue? Are we going to see a rebalancing now of the euro dollar plays? It's going to be really, really interesting to see. Uncertainty about the coherence of the administration's policies and overall intent rubbing traders the wrong way. And again, that's it's rubbing me the wrong way, because are we, about the economy, or are we about these social issues, that don't grow business? that don't grow business. So we'll see what happens here. That don't grow business. And that's, we're going negative because of this whole Muslim ban talk, because we're not talking about business right now. If you're an international investor, you're a millionaire from, Bulgaria, you're a millionaire in Colombia. You don't have time for this Muslim ban crap. You want to hear talk about, tariffs. You want to hear talk about growing our economy. You're seeing these gains you want to profit from. Any kind of talk about anything else but that makes you move to silver and gold. Exactly, Sinclair. People underestimate the value that international wealth has on our markets. So we want to get Trump back. So please, if anybody's watching me, you got some power in the White House, please get him back to the economy. Because international wealth that owns trillions of dollars in many of these companies, they're running the gold right now. Because they don't like uncertainty. As you can see here, we were looking at gold. Gold is up almost 100%. If we look at, ETFs like JNUG, JNUG, the junior gold miners, 3-time shares, we're up almost 100% in JNUG if you got in at about Christmas Day at $4.28 a share. Now you're at $8.96, so gold slowly moving up. We were up almost 20 points today during the day. Almost 20 points. Right now, gold, as we speak, we're at 12.20. We're up almost 1%. We're pretty much sideways right now in gold as well as in silver. So we got some cooling off. We'll see what happens with gold and silver. I believe the London market is going to be opening up here pretty soon. If not, if it's already open, I think the Asian exchanges are already open. All right. What else we got here, folks? MSTX. MXTX, okay, sideways day, 13 cents a share. MSTX is one that, again, if you can, find your way in at this price right now, if you're willing to hang around for some time, you're probably going to get some profit if it can stay there, right? If it stays at that 13 cents a share price, because every time some news drops that's worth its weight, it does, move on MSTX. This was a stock that was saying for a long time they were going to do a reverse split. It's never happened. They had a month ago now. Let me see here. This was that merger talk. Let me see. When was that merger when they signed with Savara? I want to say this was that move. When that merger talk came out with Maston Savara. And let me see here. Majority of America will be combined. And I believe they're going to get renamed, right? They're going to get renamed. And they're also going to change the ticker. So MSTX, it's got some change it needs to do. It's got some changing it needs to do coming to that. January 7th. Okay. January 7th. All right, so that was responsible for that move, yeah. So we'll see what happens with MSTX. If you want to go long on it, I'd have to find out what exactly is going to happen in terms of what is Savara bringing to the company. But you got support. You got support there at 13. It looks like the PED chart too, by the way. I went long in PED, which is about almost a week or so ago. ERBB is, this is another one that does its thing. But again, ERBB, you got to find it at a floor if you really want to win on ERBB. Because when it gets, when it starts moving higher, it gets so sensitive. 772, you're on the air. What's up?
What's happening, Sal? What's happening?
Hey, Treasure Hunter, you're back on. What's up, man?
Yeah, man. Hey, I was thinking, looking at the market. The market seems like it's down. Some of these expensive plays in the cheap ones, do you think it's a time to buy it at a discount, you think? You know what I'm saying? Look at Amazon. I mean, that's just down quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at Amazon, I believe Google was down. I'm not sure if it's still down today or not. I know it was down yesterday. But yeah, when we look at Amazon, pulling back a little bit. This is an opportunity for an investor who wants to go long, and you still believe,
But the poor got to get in.
Right. I mean, you got to, if you're looking to go long, you've got to be a believer, one, that we're still sticking to the agenda of
how low
jobs.
is it going to go? Before you get in, where's the bottom on these stocks?
Well, my man, if I knew that, I wouldn't have a YouTube show. I mean, that's the truth.
True that.
You know what I'm saying? And
it's like I want to jump in, but I don't want to get at the bottom. But I don't want to keep falling. I don't want to catch falling night.
Sure. No, that's understandable. But that's the risk you take of investing.
True that.
But when you're talking about these companies that have ran so aggressively since November, and Amazon is one of them. As you can see here, after the election of Donald Trump, you saw the stock has moved from, $717 to a high of almost $850. So, it's made a move, man. It's made a move here. Well over $100 has been gained in the stock. So a pullback was already, necessary for the stock. You hope it doesn't come back too far, and there's some other things that are rubbing the stock the wrong way as well. I mean, you're going to have to look into. But if you're willing to go long, I mean, that's the risk you take. Who knows what the future can be in these stocks.
And I shout goes out to you, bro. I remember you was talking about Twitter is going to be the next some play. I've been following that stock, bro. It seems like it's been falling, but getting gains too. That Twitter.
Twitter. Well, Twitter's had a really, really rough couple months, man. I mean, Twitter.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's falls and it comes up. It's like you can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of days have been nice in the stock. The last couple of days, as you can see, Twitter. But again, I believe Twitter is optionable. So this is a stock that if you don't have the money to put up, you play the option. Just like Amazon, if you don't have the money, you play the option. But again, this is one that if you believe in it, you got to go long, have that call expire way out, months out, because I think that's really the only way to win in this one, because you really can't tell in the short term how these stocks are going to go. Yeah, what it's going to do exactly.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to see for tonight, brother.
That is, appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
You got it, man.
All right. So man, if anybody can, all you guys listening to my voice right now, we in here heavy today. Go ahead and press like on this video. I would really, really appreciate it. Press like on this video. Yes, Lee, I do play. When I play options, I only do calls and puts, man. I am not sophisticated in options to do the spreads or iron candors and all that. I either believe in a stock or I don't. That's how I'm playing it. I either believe in it or I don't. EAPH. Yeah, EAPH is another one that was a big gainer on our chart last night. EAPH wasn't on the big gainer list today, but EAPH is another one that's done some things. NAVB, ACAL, USMJ still on the list. DCIX, which is really interesting because DCIX was a stock that's running again on that, Dries run. Again, when we have a stock that is running hot, you'll find similar businesses within the same industry start picking up the overflow, right? People looking at Dries and says, well, it's kind of scary. I don't know about it. Let me just move over and pick up some DCIX. All right. Looking at some other stocks that could probably do some things. Let me see here. MNKD. Yeah, there we go. Here's our EAPH, which was number 32 on the market today. $2.1 million traded in the stock. Here's that 9% gain. Actually, we're down slightly right now after hours, but to 9.83%. Not too bad though on EAPH. $2.1 million traded today in the stock. It's going to be interesting to see what if it can maintain that kind of volume tomorrow. So these OTC stocks bringing in some money, man. They are bringing in some money recently here. Interesting play on this Avino Silver. What's that? ASM. ASM here. ASM is a stock that I was looking at a long time ago. That was really moving again back towards the middle of the year. This is a stock that's very, very sensitive to gold and silver prices when we talk about ASM. There are a lot of dirt cheap gold and silver plays, but you want to make sure that you get in one that's actually moving, with the commodity. And ASM is definitely one of those stocks. In fact, if I can put the silver ETF SLV, which is the iShares Silver Trust, again, one way to look is to overline a ETF on that commodity on top of the stock you're looking at. So as we can see here, this is the SLV iShares Silver Trust, and we're looking at the stock ASM. So basically, it's like buying the ETF. The ETF. It's like buying the same thing. Look how beautiful that symmetry is. So when you're playing gold and silver, when it really starts running again, these are the kind of stocks you want to buy. Stocks that are running on the commodity, almost dollar for dollar. Almost dollar for dollar. There is SLV, and then the ticker is ASM, Avino Silver and Gold Mines. All right, there it is. That's a really good stock. You got to have that written down somewhere if you ever want to play gold and silver, because you just got to have that. You got to have that one. All right. Bill Betts, what's Costa? What do you mean Costa? DRYS. Yeah, we looked at DRYS today. Yeah, we looked at DRYS. Look, Dries is doing its thing, man. Who am I to say Dries is over? I can't say Dries is over. We did $145 million last night. We did $755 million tonight. Tomorrow we could do well over $1 billion in Dries. If the momentum is still there, look, this is a stock that went up to $100. I can't say that at 505 that it's over, that the run is dead. We've seen Dries do 4, 5, 6, 7 day runs. I know some of you guys in the chat room that are up well over $1,000 in this stock. And I told you guys yesterday I had my $500 in it. I took my $500, I doubled it up today, and I was out of there. I have an order waiting at $6. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, then it is what it is. I made my money and kept it moving. But this is a stock that we watched, literally bleed off for days. And sure enough, when it started running, it made perfect sense for you to jump in it, because it was low float after the fact that it did its split, right? It was already low float to begin with. And by the way, you should be looking at low float stocks. And the best way to find low float stocks is lowfloat.com, obviously. All right, lowfloat.com. Here's the ticker. Here's the, just type that in right now. Lowfloat.com should be, that should be saved in your bookmarks. If you're a trader, you should be looking at lowfloat.com and looking for low float stocks within the sweet spot. Looking for low float stocks that could possibly do something in the future or are doing something right now. That's just common sense. Yeah, so DRYS, yeah, man, I can't tell you whether or not this is going to go. It's flagging to the right. When it does drop, it finds, support relatively very quickly and bounces right back. The 5-day chart is absolutely beautiful. The 1-day chart today, very, very stable. For the most part, you don't see really, we do have a couple investors, some investors up here in the 560s, 570s. I have a feeling we'll test that as soon as tomorrow morning. I'm a little nervous by the fact that right now, after hours, where's our after hours price right now in Dries? After hours, I'm seeing at 759. The last one, 759, we were showing at 491. All right, so I'm a little nervous there because, But again, I don't know who's putting in an order right now. Somebody's coming home from work right now and seeing, oh my God, this stock was up 100% today, hon. Look at this. All right, babe. You know what? I'm going to put $1,000 on this stock right now. And there could be hundreds of thousands of people doing exactly that right now. All right. So we're going to have an incredible open in Dries tomorrow. And we're going to see whether or not after that huge open, when all those orders get filled, whether or not investors are going to want to buy those higher prices. And if not, it's going to come crashing down. But that hasn't happened recently in Dries. But what we do know and what we have seen here on the show is that when a stock gets really, really high, when these stocks run, they tend not to run as big as their previous runs. Have you guys noticed that? Like their previous runs are never as big as the one before it. When we talk about Dries and many other stocks we've talked about here, they don't ever really get to what they used to be. And, you know, this recent bearish momentum is, you know, it's messed up the chart so much you really can't even go back as much. And then they had the stock split and all that. So all the numbers are skewed. All the numbers are skewed. You know, you're not going to get the right numbers on it. So really the only thing you look at is the 5-day chart, which is amazing. Which is amazing. So I won't be surprised if it fails tomorrow, and I won't be surprised if we crack $6 and go to $7, $8 tomorrow. I can't give you an answer because I've seen it. I've seen stocks do both. You know, I've seen stocks do both. Gevo, but you have to understand that sometimes, you know, these stocks, you know, people, especially if you've already gotten burned by a stock before, you're taking profits earlier. If you've gotten burned by a stock that's ran before and it's running again and you're in it, you are making sure you're taking profits earlier. That's why when stocks run, they never run as aggressively as they did the very first time. That's why Dries has never touched $100 before, you know, since it did that. And it's ran maybe like 2 times since then. It's ran at least twice since that $100. Because there are some suckers who are still playing it that got trapped up there. And every single time people learn their lesson. People learn their lesson. What's going on, Shell P? Somebody brought up Gevo. Gevo, if you guys remember Gevo, this stock again, they did a split. Gevo was the renewable fuels company we had so much hope for. This was the company that had, I want to say it was like Alaska Air or something like that, and they make a renewable fuel. They make a renewable fuel that can use a renewable jet fuel. But the problem is that the price of oil is right now just basically sitting at 50. Right? Where are we right now in crude? Yeah, 52, 56. So crude right now is just basically, you know, renewable fuel. The price of energy has to be expensive for companies to consider offsetting the risk of getting a cheaper alternative fuel product, you know, instead of going with what they always go with. You know, and right now, alternative fuels, when you talk about a lot of these renewable fuel sources, they're not cheap enough to offset the risk. They're not cheap enough to offset the risk just yet. Let me look at the oil index, by the way. I want to say that's XOI, yeah, ticker XOI. So it's a little bit higher. Oil index, we're at 1232 right now. Actually, let me look at an ETF. I believe it's XOP. XOP, which is the Standard and Spider S&P Oil and Gas Exploration and Production ETF. We're at 4008. All right, so if you guys don't know of a stock, you buy the ETF, so you buy it as a group. And, you know, nice move today towards the end of the day. But other than that, nothing much here. Nothing much to look at here. Nothing much to look at here. All right. Somebody brought up what's on Gregory Hall, DMTX. Dimension Therapeutics down 54% today. What's going? Downgraded by Cantor Fitzgerald. All right, so basically it got downgraded today by Cantor Fitzgerald, big time investment bank. They looks like the top line results on a trial they did failed on hemophilia B. Adult patient results on severe hemophilia B. I don't know what hemophilia is. Looks like those didn't come out so well. The stock fell off the map today, down 54%. You know, when you're playing these kind of stocks, you can find a bottom and win. You know, bottom feeding on these stocks, because remember, a lot of people did that on another stock, NVAX. You guys remember NVAX? NVAX was very similar play. If you guys remember, NVAX had dropped when it did that drug failure. When it did that drug failure, but again, like NVAX, it may not ever recover. It may not ever recover. So now you're looking at that and you're saying, wow, 54% drop in one day. Maybe that's unjustified. Well, maybe it is justified because it happened to NVAX and that stock has never recovered from the $8 it once traded at. So there's good and bad with that strategy, Gregory Hall. There's good and bad with that strategy. So I would always, do some research on what other products, if any, DMTX is working on. It always helps if they've got some other drugs that they're working on. Maybe they have a partner that is highly leveraged. I mean, not highly leveraged, but highly capitalized. Do they have anything with Eli Lilly or a Merck or, some other major biotech company that feeds them in any kind of way? I would look at that. Yeah, Sinclair, we looked at JAGX. It really didn't. It's giving it all back, and it's always been giving it all back. But so far, man, I'm seeing these stocks today, and I'm not happy with what I've seen. Not happy with what I'm seeing in terms of going long. HOV. Hovanian, okay, yeah, Hovanian Enterprises, this is the home builder. HOV, this is the home builder. And, home building runs when consumer confidence is higher. People buy more loans. People decide to, to do, let me see here. Yeah, people decide to go out and get a mortgage when they feel like their income is secure. And it's got a nice run. It's had a nice run and pulled back here toward this month. Has been a real ugly month, but it looks like it's trying to find its way back up higher. When we take the long view on HOV, $2.37 stock. But again, this is a stock that has a lot of other macroeconomic pulls on it. So you got to look at interest rates, consumer confidence, so it's got a lot of things that you kind of got to watch for in HOV. But I like the chart, though. I mean, as a long term, I mean, it's been, again, this is another one of those Trump stocks. This is another one of those Trump stocks, and I'm looking right here when the election of Donald Trump, and sure enough, the stock is up almost 100% plus since his election. That pullback was necessary here, but it looks like it's found some support and slowly working its way back higher, although now a little bit more disciplined on those gains. All right. A little bit more discipline on those gains. But you're going to have to do your research on this one. This is one of those companies with real operations and not running on any kind of hype. Let me see here. MYOS. MYOS was on our list too. But I'm going to put that HOV on our list, though. I'm going to put that HOV on our list because that looks like that pattern I've seen before. MYOS, this is a stock. Looks like it ran on the 12th. And slowly but surely, it kind of looks like it's losing to me. This is not a stock I want to go long in. It's not a stock I want to go long in. They look like no recent news has came out on the stock, MYOS. And MYOS, they label themselves as a specialty food and well-being. Specialty food and products well-being. Let me see any news on this one. On MYOS. They released some news yesterday. They calling themselves the Muscle Company. All right, so basically they had a medical doctor, myostatin. All right, so they've got a product called myostatin. They've got a product called myostatin, and this product is a medication to target and address fundamental issues such as inflammation and aging. And they believe that myostatin is the only product which is safe and effective, to target negative effects on muscle growth as human beings age. Okay. So they're basically like an aging prevention company. This is basically what they're doing. They have another proprietary product called Fortropin, which is clinically proven to reduce myostatin levels, leading to increases in muscle size and lean body mass. All right, they're all over the place with this, but so it's actually, Fortropin is actually to increase muscle size and lean body mass. All right, yeah, I'm just doing a little research on this one, but all right, so this is a company that's got some drugs. They got some drugs in the works. You're going to have to be willing to go long on this one because there's a long story behind it. There's a lot of research on there. I see some papers as well you're going to have to read. All right. And that one is MYOS. PPHM, Peregrine Pharmaceuticals, PPHM, 30 cents a share. This is another stock too, man. That's Peregrine Pharmaceuticals, 30 cents a share. Kind of scary. Actually, no, pretty safe. I'm sorry. It's actually pretty safe here at 30 cents a share. Looks like you got some support here. At 30 cents, but I mean, you're looking for something to happen here. I do see an article that came out. Somebody put in a hammer chart pattern, and that this is the time to buy for PPHM. And PPHM, this is another stock too that, again, when it pops, it doesn't hold its gains. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. So if I could put the bands back on the stock, because we haven't really talked about the Bollinger Bands today, because I don't want to confuse some people. Sometimes we got a lot of beginners in the house, but the Bollinger Bands are still pretty wide on the stock, so PPHM still could go anywhere right now on PPHM. But you don't have to watch the stock, man. You're gonna have to watch and see what comes out. But this is a stock that, as you can see, you really can't go long in because when it moves, it doesn't hold it. King Ross Gold Corp. King Ross KGC. KGC, man, that's a nice looking chart. That's a nice looking chart. That's a nice looking chart. You got the little round, almost a rounded bottom here. These rounded bottoms are very, very rounded bottoms are very aggressive signs. It looks like it's not necessarily a rounded bottom, but when you see a rounded bottom, all right, and you're coming around and it's rounded, that it means it has it'll tend to have a very, very aggressive, move outside of that bottom. And I saw that today in SPY, by the way, too. So shout out to Bat Scientist. I know he's been busy these last couple of nights, but I'll show you guys that rounded bottom and how that looks. That when you see a rounded bottom, the stock tends to really run once that bottom is made. But King Gold Corp, this is another gold stock, running a little bit more aggressively than. All right, so as you can see, the primary trend, though, still, as you can see, like gold was doing, kind of gave its way back. But the last 30 days in gold have been very, very, very good for these small gold companies. And that's why we're seeing these new trends being created here in tickers like KGC. But it all depends on whether or not gold can maintain its price, man. It all determines on whether or not gold can maintain its price. So I'll be watching that GLD, that JNUG. You know, make sure these, and the price of gold, of course, more than anything, the price of gold is the most important thing. Is the most important thing. Yeah, everybody here, go ahead and press like if I can. Go ahead and press like. If I can have you do that. Press like, please, please, please. Thank you. ISBG, ISBG, that was a stock that was on our list. ISBG is the one being pushed by, what's her name? ISBG's got a spokeswoman. I forgot what her name is. Or I'm thinking about Iconic Brands. I'm thinking about Iconic Brands, which is ICNB or something like that. But ISBG, ICNB, Iconic Brands, ICNB, they're very, very similar companies. Very, very similar companies. But ISBG, a little bit of a pullback today on ISBG. Nothing serious, though. 15%. 15% for OTC stock. That's just another day. It's just another day. All right. Just another day. So real no sideways moves in ISBG. We actually caught it at 0018 yesterday. I say at 8:31. It was probably earlier today, before the market opened. All right, so moved. Well, not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let's see here. EVLV. Lines are open, guys. Lines are open. So if you got a ticker we haven't talked about, line is open. EVLV. $1.52, 14% gain today. What is this stock about? I'm not sure. I'm not other specialty retailer. I'm not familiar with this ticker at all. Let's see here. EVLV. Let me see here. All right, so they did come out with news today. Evine Live Incorporated agrees to complete block repurchase program from NBC Universal. All right, they're a multi-platform video commerce company, and they agreed to purchase a block of 4.4 million shares of its common stock, representing approximately 6.9% of its outstanding, in a private transaction with NBC Universal, which is a subsidiary of Comcast. The company will use cash on hand to buy back the shares, and is expected to settle within 2 days. Okay. The CEO mentioned that Comcast and NBC have been a great business partner to our network. We are happy to work with them to efficiently reduce this non-core investment that Comcast inherited in their acquisition of NBC Universal in 2011. We look forward to continuing to partner with Comcast to build a strong future for Evine. All right. That's a good move. That's a major key. That's a major key, man. Taking back ownership of the business. That's a major key. Shout out to them. Shout out to them for doing that. That's a major key, man. I'm going to put that on the list. That's a good move for the company. Looking to build, That's a company that's actually looking to make a good move. You know. Yeah, we talked about Dries, man. What's the extra charges to buy Dries? What broker are you with, Haya? I'm not sure about any extra charges to buy Dries. You know, your broker should only be charging you the fee to trade, which is called your commission, and that's pretty much it. You shouldn't be, you know, it's a Nasdaq stock. You shouldn't be receiving any other kind of fees. Well, I don't like Canadian companies or Canadian traded stocks because they don't have volume. There's no volatility. There's no volatility there. When we talk about Canadian stocks, they're boring. AMS. Let me see. AMS. American Shared Hospital Services. This is a stock I don't know much about. American Shared Hospital Services. What do? They actually own like some hospitals or something? You guys are bringing up all kind of new shit today. Let me see here. AMS. American Shared Hospital Services. The last news that was out was like November 10th, man. Where's this business at? They reported their third quarter earnings. Medical services revenue increased 4.8%. No, actually, medical services revenue increased 26% to 4.8 million. Okay. I hate when they try to put the numbers in like a story form. Just put the numbers out. I hate it when they try to put the numbers in a paragraph to confuse you. Just put the numbers out. All right. Yeah, this is a company that doesn't put out a lot of news, my man. And that's exactly why the volume is what it is. I mean, only 55,000 shares traded. That sucks. 316, you're on the air. What's up?
Yeah, this is a company that doesn't. Hey, I was getting a loan from my dad for $2,000, and I was wondering if you think penny stocks would be a good start to start out investing.
You're trading. You said your dad's $2,000.
Well, he's loaning me, and I'm going to pay him back the $2,000.
Yeah, I mean $2,000. If you want to trade Nasdaq. If I were you, I'd probably start out being that, you know, this is your first time. I would never ask somebody just to start off trading OTC stocks, you know, but trade trade the Nasdaqs and the NYSE stocks, and if you don't like it, move into the OTC stuff if you love and enjoy the volatility and the risk. But start off with you know, the Nasdaq, Amex, you know, NYSE stuff. You can buy more. You know, they move very nicely. Sometimes you get very similar volatility as you get in OTC markets. For example, the stock of the day right now, DRYS, Dries. Sometimes, you'll get very similar moves. But, you know, it's less risky. And, you know, it's a good way to get yourself, you know, acclimated to the system of trading.
Okay, thanks very much. I'm enjoying the show right now, so keep it up.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, bye.
All right. Yeah, shout out to him, man. Thanks for the call, bro. You know, you got $2,000 to start off with. You know, once you get the market down, you know what you're looking at, what you want to trade. You know, go get yourself some Nasdaq plays, some Amex plays. Start out there first. Because I mean, if you can't, you know, if you can't win with those stocks, then, you know, you really don't want to come down to OTC markets where you're up 30 one day, down 15 the next, up 30, down 5, up 30, down 50. You know, so it's incredible volatility, and it's got to be money you can afford to lose. That's why I start my show with that disclaimer, because I dwell so much in OTC stocks, but it's money that I can afford to lose. I can afford to lose this, but the problem is that, you know, what a lot of people don't realize is that OTC stocks, you can win so big. When you do win, you win so big. You know, 3-4 days can change the very outlook of your whole year if you put $500, $700 in the right stock. You know, and these stocks go, you know, 50, 60, 70%. You know, for maybe 2-3 days, depending on what happens. You know, you have a 500% plus month. You know, it can change your whole year. It can change your whole year. You meant ASM. Yeah, we looked at ASM. ASNA. Ascena Retail. You know, I'm really sketchy on retail. I just believe, like, my generation, I don't believe my generation likes going to the store. You know, in fact, even older people, I'm looking at people who are older, they don't like going to the store anymore. You know what I'm saying? If they can get it online, they can get it online. Now, if you go to the store, it's because you need it like that day. But if you don't need it that day, you probably looking to buy it online. I don't like retail at all. I don't like retail at all. It was too fickle. You know, I don't know. Let me see what's retail. Is it like XRT or something like that? Yeah, XRT, Spider Retail ETF. You know, again, here's the retail chart. And what was that? The one that you just had me bring up? What was that chart you just had me bring up? I've freaking lost it. I just brought it up, but it flashed. Let me see here. ASNA. Yeah, let me see. ASNA. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. It looks like it's running, comparing it to that to the ETF. Let's put the ETF on top of it. Yep, sure enough, running right along with it. So bearish in the ETF, bearish in the stock. So here's the ETF. There's the stock right there. So very, very close in that symmetry. Very, very close. That's the blue line is the ETF for retail, Spider ETF retail, which is XRT. And guys, you want to memorize this stuff. You know, XRT is your retail, XOP is your oil, SPY is your overall, GLD is your gold. Yeah, I understand for all the new people, you probably don't know. Some of you guys probably don't even know what the hell we're talking about. But you'll get there. You'll get there. You'll get there with time. All right, just keep watching the show and keep reading. But I'm not a big fan of retail. I don't like retail. And maybe because I hated working retail. Did I tell you guys about? I used to work at this place called Myers. It was kind of like a fake ass Walmart. I got hired there. I was working for $7.45 an hour or so, like that. This was like my senior year of high school, and so I'm going there. It's like my third day on the job, and it was cool because they had me in the meat department. So I was just like loading meat and, you know, being bothered every 15 minutes to, you know, hey, where's the chicken, or where's the chicken, where's sausage? I'm like, okay. Then they moved me to the toy department, and man, I hated the toy department. The toy department is, I'm thinking, okay, it's just stupid ass toys. Okay, toys. But then you'll have parents like, yeah, I'm looking for the beach Barbie with the red high heels. The beach Barbie. No, not that Barbie. I need beach. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Pick a fucking Barbie, get your kid, and get the fuck out of here. I mean, that was my attitude. You know, I couldn't stand this shit. A Barbie's a fucking Barbie. What's the difference between beach Barbie and Hollywood Barbie? I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the attitude. When you work in retail, you got to have an attitude for retail. You got to be willing to be a person who people can come to for advice on those kind of things. You know, why should I buy Hollywood Barbie over Beach Barbie or some bullshit like that? You know. Oh, this one comes with, you know, the bag and a purse, and this one doesn't come with the bag and a purse. Do you have one that comes with the red purse and the red shoes? Bitch, get the fuck out of here. You know? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm having flashbacks, man. I'm having I just hate retail, bro. I hate retail. That's why when I go to the store, I hate asking people for advice, because I know how it feels to be that person, dude. I hate asking for any questions. I like finding it myself. You know, I hate being that young person and, you know, this customer has a question because you don't give a fuck. And I know you don't give a fuck, you know. You just want this fucking check so you can keep your gas in your car, so you can keep your insurance, you can keep a roof over your head. You don't give a fuck about that business. I know it. You know, you hate your fucking job. Nobody grows up wanting to work at fucking Walmart. Nobody grows up saying, hey, I want to work at Winn-Dixie. I want to work at Whole Foods, Safeway, you know. Nobody grows up wanting to do that shit. So you got a bunch of people who are basically fell into this situation, and you think they really want to answer your fucking question? Shit. Let me calm down here because I'm getting myself excited over here. SING, 3 cents a share. Single Point is actually a legit business, by the way. Single Point is actually a legit business, electronical components company. Let me find out some more on Single Point. Let me see what was the like. It's actually a legit business. I remember looking into Single Point, and they released some news today. Single Point Incorporated signs letter of intent to invest $800,000 in Jaxum Corp, creator of revolutionary cannabis technology. What is that about? Letter of intent to acquire Jaxum Corporation, doing business as Convectium, a profitable California-based provider of equipment, branding, and packaging for the cannabis industry. Convectium is the creator of the world's first oil filling machine focused on cannabis. It is capable, of filling cartridges or disposable vape pens for wholesale distribution to dispensaries. Okay. The company's 710 Shark and 710 Seal system can fill and package up to 100 cartridges of disposable vape pens in 30 seconds, making it the fastest filling and sealing system of its kind. All right. Not bad, not bad. So that's a B2B type product. That's a B2B type product. Convectium forecast revenues for 2017 at $3.5 million, which is an increase of 150% compared to revenue of $1.4 million for 2016. So that's nice. Move by SING, bringing in an acquisition to increase the bottom line there. So nice play by Greg Lambert, who is the CEO of Single Point. That's a nice play on there. I've done some research on Single Point. They're actually a legit marijuana place. So we got a lot of wannabe marijuana plays. Single Point, ticker symbol SING, is actually a legit one. They're actually a pretty legit one. All right, including SRNA, which is Cerna. And Cerna, that's actually a legit marijuana play as well, too. You know, these are legit plays I'll be willing to go along on. SRNA, SING, those are companies that are actually doing something in the marijuana space. SRNA, they're the go-to people for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems on the MJ business. You know, if your actual business, let's say your dispensary, looking to keep your products cool and warm, 9 times out of 10, you probably go to Cerna for the business. All right. Tower, TWER. Tower Stream. Tower Stream is a huge pump, man. It's a huge pump. I'm not sure what it's doing now. As you can see, volume is sketchy, but this was a stock that used to trade multiple millions of shares. It used to trade multiple millions of shares. It doesn't anymore. It doesn't anymore. Yeah, okay, you're into I like SRNA as well. $20 per share. 21 cents. 905, you're on the air. What's up?
Is this Sal?
Yes, this is.
Hey, Sal. Excuse me for a second. Let me close your program. I was listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, Sal, this is Gurvinder. You remember me?
Gurvinder?
Magento. I'll send you a couple of emails, and you said you will call me.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. I remember.
My brother, I need your help, and I like your program so much.
I get so many emails. I actually couldn't find your number, and I couldn't remember your name. So I'm like, man, I can't remember. But send me another
so
email.
Glad.
But I'm happy that you called, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, good. I need to talk to you because I had some difficult time with illness and others with the family. Now we are getting out of this.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk to you. I want to start penny stock.
Uh-huh.
And I've done nothing yet. And I was going to open my account with the TD Ameritrade.
Okay.
And I just want some confidence because I was shaken up before. I used to live in England. I invested in trades, a lot of money, and I lost.
Mm-hmm.
Came back here, and I find you very honest. And I find like you are the great man. I said, okay, I'm going to listen to him and see. I went to Jamaica. I put 3 photos out there.
Oh, wow.
At Montego Bay, Ochi, and Negro. 1 year, I lost everything. There's a lot of things happen in life, but now I thought I have a lot of time on my hand. I will start this. And I was looking for people. I've seen so many people, but they all disheartened me. When I look at your video and the way you speak, I said, I like this guy. I'm going to listen to him. I don't know why.
I appreciate
you're a lot younger than me. I am an old man, but I'm an engineer. I worked in England for 20 years, civil engineer.
Okay.
But I think a lot of things happen in life, but God help me, I'm still living.
Yes. I mean, and one, you're blessed to be able to recover financially because, some people, they ruin one time and that's it. So congrats to that. And you mentioned you were an engineer. Can I ask what type of engineering?
Civil engineer, like putting roads, bridges, housing. I worked for the government in England for 20 years.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm Indian, but I was the only black guy in the government with 400 white people.
Wow.
And I enjoyed every moment of it because I loved everybody.
Yeah. Wow. That's very, very impressive. I must commend you for that.
And I never felt that I'm black. I always felt that I am a soul, as good as they are. In fact, better because I can speak to them. Mm-hmm. They can't speak to me.
Yes, indeed. That's indeed. And
in their language,
Right.
But you have inspired me. You have really helped me a lot. But I need to talk to you or maybe somebody who can help me, who can just give me a little guidance on this. I know you're very, very busy, but I see a lot of you people talking to you, and they're very interesting people.
Yes, definitely. I mean, definitely send me that email. I will call you tomorrow. I'll make some time, and I will call you tomorrow. But yeah, being that you have a background in civil engineering, I think you should. I mean, there's so many companies, especially right now. Living under Donald Trump, we know that infrastructure is a very big thing for him. He plans it to, for it to be.
I'm in a retired age now. I'm retired now.
Well, I mean, but you understand the business, though. Would you agree?
Oh, yes, I do.
Right. So there's some companies out there that are in the field that you were in for over 20 years. And I think you would have an edge over someone like me or someone who else, that trades stocks, here and there. And then understanding the business that these companies are in and whether or not they're doing a good job and whether they're not.
Sure. How about when you have time tomorrow, you give me a call and I'll send you an email now. We'll talk.
All right, we'll do that. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you kindly. Thank you. I'm glad you picked up our phone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow. But I mean, look, I always say invest in what you know. Invest in what you know. You've been in civil engineering 20 plus years. I mean, just off the top of my head, he doesn't even necessarily have to play penny stocks. With just from the way the guy comes off, you can probably start looking at, stocks like Caterpillar. What was that one that we looked at yesterday? I think it was like WTA or something like that. No, it was another Caterpillar type stock. But if he wants to play penny stocks, AMMX, he can play AMMX. He can play. There's several tons of MUX. He can probably look at the stock like MUX. So there are a lot of penny stocks that he can start looking at in that engineering space, infrastructure space, that he'd be able to look at the books and say whether or not they're actually legit or they're just wasting their time. MTW, thank you, J. Bino. MTW, that's the MTW. Yeah, MTW, that was it. I'll write that down too. Now, and this is a stock that I'm looking to go long in, by the way. MTW. This is a stock I'm looking to go long in because looks like it's trending off. It's been kind of caught in this funnel between, I'm seeing here recently between like 540 and 6. Right now we're at 683 after a strong run. But yeah, I'll definitely give you a call tomorrow. We'll definitely chat it up. Appreciate it. Have a good night, Master 82. Let me see here. It's like 1 share of Pura per 300. Yeah, USMJ, not much to add on the stock right now, but USMJ is another stock that, again, started off at the triples, and then sure enough, it's breaking out. That's why you can never really count out those triples that are actually moving. We had a guy earlier in the day talk about MJMJ that's trading, I want to say like 0003 or 4 or 6, something. I think 0006. You can never count those out. If they're releasing news, releasing information, by all means, buy and hold. You're going to have to hold for some time, but you can get those gains. USMJ up 23%. Today alone, 23% by USMJ. And imagine being one of those guys that was in, at 0003, 0004. That kind of reminds me of the stock that I was trying to tell you guys about, USEI. USEI, I brought that to people's attention in 0006. 0006, yeah, about right here at 0006. Now we're at 0012. And we bounced up and down between 11 and 13. So it's finding its way, and eventually it'll break out and move higher. It all comes in due time. When you're talking about these triples, it all comes in due time. I've seen this a couple times in the chat right now. EIYG down 14% off a recent run yesterday. Again, this is a stock that, gapped up higher and gave it all back today. I mean, this is an ugly looking chart. Imagine being a guy who bought into this. This is a great short for somebody. But, it gave it all back and some from the day before, the run. So IG, not necessarily the greatest stock to play right now. I'm not sure why you guys would like that. I wouldn't go long on that situation. That's a ugly looking chart. What's going on, Three Hooks? NEOT at $1.52. They released news a month ago about beginning a phase 2 study. We had already captured that. Nice move today. Looks like it was basically a chart mover today on NEOT. This is another one that's looked really nice on that long for someone here since the beginning of the year. You're up almost 40 cents since January 1st. NEOT. CSBR, if it's what I saw, I didn't like it. Champions Oncology. All right, actually, this is pretty nice. This looks like an A-call chart. And again, when I talked about that rounded bottom, you see when you see this, when you have a rounded bottom, these are charts you buy all day because you'll figure it out about right here. You're like, oh wow, that's a nice little rounded bottom, and then you have this little move where it's a very aggressive spike higher. This is a CSBR. I'll put this on the watch for tomorrow after that 10% move today. CSBR. I have a feeling our big gains on the stock today may not be on the chart tomorrow. You know, when I look at our gains of the day today, right, if I go through the list, you know, there are a couple moves in there that look really interesting. We're going to take a look at Zoom in a minute. We already looked at USMJ, Jaguar Vapor. We looked at those already. Not big fan of the F stocks anymore. We'll take a look at Zoom in a minute. And here's our big gain stocks of the day. Let's see here. Mankind, Timmins Gold, TGD. Yeah, we looked at TGD. That's another one. Capstein Turbine. All right, that's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. But let me show you guys that that move again. When we talk about that rounded bottom, let me see. I might be able to find it here on the 1 minute chart. Let me see here. When we get that rounded bottom, which is very similar today. I saw it today too in the SPY. When you get that rounded bottom again, and then as soon as you'll catch it, and it stays beautifully over the 20-day moving average and SPY. So as you can see, when you see that rounded bottom like that, you know, those have a tendency to have those long arms where it'll stay in a funnel moving higher, as we saw in the stock just before this one. Yeah, rounded bottom. I'll post an article on that. I'll post an article on that in the Discord room tonight, where we talk about rounded bottoms. In fact, let me go ahead and do it now. It's under the PDF Classic Chart Patterns. So let me go ahead and post it in the Discord room right now. And it's called Classic Chart Patterns. All right. Classic Chart Patterns. And you should be able to memorize it, so you'll be able to see when they come up. Those are buys all day when you see that round bottom. And this is not even a perfect one, because you can see here lifted up a little bit. So not even relatively perfect. So okay, so I just posted that into the Discord room. All right, just posted that into the Discord room for those people. If you don't know how to get into the Discord room, let me post a link. Sign up. Discord room is where I post a lot of little PDFs that you guys might be interested in, even books that you guys might be interested in as well. All right, so it's in the Discord room. Classic Chart Patterns. Yeah, we talked about seeing real quick TGD. I saw somebody bring up Timmins Gold. This is another stock that, you know, it runs with gold, but it doesn't run as well with gold as we've seen in the other stocks. It doesn't run as well. In fact, let me see here. If I bring up GLD, does it run as well? Nah, see, that's why I say it's a little bit of a slower move. I brought up another stock earlier in the day that runs a lot better. Earlier in the show, that runs a lot better with gold and silver than this one. And it's a much better play. Much better play. As you can see here, you know, it's pretty close though. It's pretty close, but you can get better symmetry than that. You can get better plays. You know, as you can see, it doesn't move as close, but I've seen better. All right. ETRM. You guys bring up ETRM. ETRM is way too expensive, and it's not, you know, it's very expensive, and for what you're getting, it's not worth it. You know, ETRM is a stock I've seen here on this show quite a bit of times. I'm not sure why you guys keep bringing it up, because it's not, you know, for the risk, it's not worth it. At $6 a share, at $6 a share, it's just not worth the risk. It's got incredible volatility. But it's just not worth the risk at $6 a share. You know, OWCP, yeah, OWCP is giving it back up, man. OWCP is giving it back up. It's a wrap with OWCP. I think OWCP, right now we're at what, like 49, 50 something. I think it would be giving it all back by next week. Slowly but surely it's bleeding off. All right, so I'm going to wrap the show up here in a bit. All you guys press like. Let's go through a few more picks real quick. I saw RIC, Richmont Mines. RIC, $8 a share. 10% move today in the stock when they reported mineral reserves and resources today increased by 34%. Higher grade of gold being dug out of those mines. 336, you're on the air. What's up?
Sal.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, this is Money Matters. I've got two here. I got a couple questions on.
Go ahead.
I got CIE.
All right.
CIE. It was down today.
Yeah.
I had it marked to buy in at 98 cents, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it hit. But I got to looking at my chart a little bit more. I might have made a bad decision here. The chart, it looks like a ton of sell-off on my chart.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's going to rebound?
Looking at the chart, you're funneling right now between like 96 and 130. You've been kind of stuck in that funnel.
Yeah, the bands are tight.
Yeah, the bands are tight. Since about August, you just kind of been in that 140, between 96 and like 140. You've kind of been channeling in there. Let me see, what is this? Oil exploration, production, and then the price of oil hasn't necessarily been helping you either, because the price of oil has been funneling as well. So that hasn't really done as good as that should have been doing. CIE. Let me see here.
Yeah, and it's not really following the oil chart either, or the oil price. But I took a gamble on it. I figured, what the hell, I'll go long, and just give it a shot. I didn't put a whole lot of money into it, but I figured I'd take a swing at it.
Yeah, I think you're not. It's not a bad move going long at this price. Getting it at below $1. Independent oil and gas company.
Yeah, I think I bought in at 98 cents. So I'm pretty happy with that. Another one that I'm looking at is GNBT. The volume on this one right here has really dropped.
Yeah, looks like this. Looks like 23rd to the 26th was party time, but since then it has been drying up.
Yeah, we'll see. The way I play, Sal, is once I hit 25-30%, I'm out.
Okay.
Like when I played Dries today, I seen that going nuts. As soon as I got my 25-35%, I was out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been burned in the past. So once I hit that 25-30%, man, I'm done. I'm out. I'm moving on to something else. I don't care how high it goes.
I don't blame you, man. I mean, if it works for you, if it's getting you money, man, that's all that matters. And that's actually a smart way to play a stock like Dries too, because a lot of people, set their price. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get out this, and then they start getting greedy, and next thing you know, they're running for the exit, at a price much lower than they should have got out at. So that's actually a responsible way to trade.
Yeah, I mean, because if everybody runs to the exit door at the same time, sometimes it's hard to get rid.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, buddy. I just want to throw that out at you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, man.
Thanks, man.
All right. Shout out to 336. Thank you for the call. I actually like his CIE call, man. I like his CIE call. The stock is up almost 24% over the. Let me see here. Let me go back to that CIE. I like the CIE. All right, so I like the CIE at this 98 cents. You've got support. See, I don't think it's gonna try 80s. I don't think it's gonna try the 80s though. You got support in the 80s, all right? You got support 83, 84, 85. I would be watching CIE. I'll be watching CIE. I actually think CIE is a good long here. You know, you're way oversold on the RSI. I'm using, this is the 3-month chart, right? Yeah, this is the 90-day chart. You're way oversold here on the RSI. So this is actually a good buy here to go long on CIE. I actually really like this call, by the way. I really like this call. I really like this call. The 5-day chart here, you're going to starting sideways, so maybe the selling is done. Here's the 5-day chart. All right, that's the 5-day. Here's the 1-day. You looks like you got some settling going on now on the. So I actually like that. Appreciate that very much, 336. I actually like the CIE going long. Head and Shoulders, yes. Head and Shoulders. I mean, and that means it could possibly, you know, rub off some more a little bit on it. Could go a little bit lower, but you got a lot of support in the 80s. You got a lot of support in the 80s. How you doing, Bambi? DCTH. Yeah, I'll keep that CIE as a watch. I keep that CIE as a watch. DCTH, Delcath Systems, medical prosthetics company. This is another one that's kind of losing a little bit of steam here too. Going sideways, which it has been now since the 23rd. Here's the last 30 days in the stock, so no much action here. The bands are getting nice and tight there on DCTH. So here's another one we probably need to be paying attention to. 36 cents a share, DCTH. 36 cents a share on DCTH. You don't have to look at the news there. It looks like some really interesting news on some products they're putting out there. So they're calling themselves an interventional oncology company focused on the primary treatment of metastatic liver cancers, but they're listed as a medical prosthetics company. So do they have multiple lines of business? I'm not sure on DCTH. I'm going to do my research on that one. That's a very interesting pickup there, and I like it at 36 cents a share. 4.5 million shares traded today, which is really nice. That's good volume. That's very good volume for a stock that cheap. Trading on the Nasdaq as well. A lot of liquidity on that stock, DCTH. Get in and out very, very nicely. That's a very nice full chart there. That's a very nice full chart. UPS has options? I don't know. I don't know. What's going on, Franklin Joe? Been a minute, Franklin. Been a minute. AMDA, I haven't seen that ticker in a long time. AMDA, and if I remember correctly, this was probably also another bond stock, down 37 cents after a gap down here. What was that, on the 20th, 19th? That was really ugly. Down here at Mitka, that looks like, you know, when you have a gap down from 65 cents, I mean, the stock was already trading relatively, you know, dirt cheap. And the gap down from 60 cents, now you're at the 30s. You got to be talking bankruptcy now. You know, I mean, now you're talking like, are we even going to be in business in the next several months? You know, when they're not willing to give you an opportunity, you know, I mean, lose 5%, lose 10%, but that was a 50% drop. That was a 50% drop. I would keep it moving on this one. If that was me, I would just keep it moving on that one. All right. A lot of shares today. A lot of stocks we talked about today. We can keep going on and on and on, but let me put out this list of stocks we've talked about here today, and I like all of them. I like pretty much all of them. But again, you know, number one has got to be Dries. Number one has got to be Dries. That's going to be the stock everybody's going to look at. Everybody in here should have made money on Dries today. All right, that was the number one play on our stock list last night. We already knew it was going to run again. I mean, you already know a float that small is going to run again. Please check out lowfloat.com for great picks to look. Lowfloat.com is also a great place to find, stocks in that sweet zone. If you find it, plant yourself in there. If some news drops, that you get that momentum, you can be looking at some real nice gains. Real nice gains. All right. And let me go ahead and put this in here. Real nice gains in Dries. Let me see here. Let me type these in here. And you guys were quiet today. I usually get a lot more calls in this, but I say you guys wanted to watch me today. Let me see here. ISBG. ISBG for the pullback to 0017 actually isn't bad. You got to be very careful with that one though. Again, let me check on iconic brands. Iconic. ICNB. 2 cents a share, down 1% today. Iconic brands pretty much sideways day today, so kind of channeling looking to see if these bands become tighter today on ICNB. If that happens tomorrow, we'll definitely be paying attention to that one. Shout out to the caller who brought up CIE and whoever brought up DCTH too. I really like that stock as well. TBIO, real quick. TBIO is one that we've had here on the show. TBIO, Transgenomic Health. Bands are really tight on this one too. Let me see if we got anything moving after hours right now. I don't see any strong after hours movement. Right now. If anybody has a good after hours stock, please let me know. Also, we had a couple of stocks that we've talked about here on the show go kaput today. One of them was Azure. And Azure, I actually liked it because I thought Azure would recover on low natural gas prices that were going up. But Azure recently today announced they were going bankrupt. 920, you're on the air. What's up?
What's going on? Outside of the JB 85. Hey, didn't know if you checked out that NPWZ. I think it was. It's a lithium company. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I remember talking about this one in the past. Again, this is another stock, man. That would have been a real nice pickup. 0005. Now it's at 0011. Decent volume. Probably would love to see a lot more volume on a 00 stock. I'd love to see 20 million plus, but it looks like it's coming in slowly but surely on NPWZ. What do you like about this stock?
Well, I was kind of looking up a little bit of the products they had, and they make a lot of lithium batteries and stuff, dealing with the military and for cars and stuff like that. So a lot of future tech. It's kind of what caught my attention. I know lithium is one of the big things, but with it being in double O's, nothing you go wrong with that right now.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about NPWZ right now is they're not in compliance right now with their filings. So right now they've got some filing issues, and that's probably what's holding the volume back. They've got some filings that are due. Don't see here recent 10K or 10Q. Let's see here, August. The SEC reporting right now is listed as delinquent. I'm trying to figure out what's missing. And where's the last 10K? Okay, the 10K is missing. And they actually have the NT10K, which came out December 30th. Let me see here. where the chief financial officer by the name of Jeffrey May listed that the company was going to be late on its filing, and the filing is going to be a 10K, and they're missing the September 30th 10K, and right now they have not been able to produce that filing. So until they get that in, I wouldn't trade it. But I mean, if it's a risk. If you're willing to get in now, it's a risk because delinquent stocks, especially OTC stocks that run delinquent, are very, very highly likely to get halted because the SEC really doesn't like that. So I'd like to get that taken care of before I would jump in, and that's probably why you don't have the volume that you should have, even though it's up almost 100%. Over the last 5 days, which has been really, really great in the stock. But once that company gets its act together financially, I think you'll be all right.
Okay. Matter of fact, earlier I think I saw something on the news about they got a grant from a government grant, for I believe like $28 million, something like that. So I think that's kind of what caught my eye too, that they had a government grant and they were dealing with the military. So it's kind of the only thing that caught my eye with them.
Let me see. Yeah, I mean, they definitely could be doing that. I do see here, they won a U.S. Department of Energy grant for a lithium metal battery. It looks like they're doing some real work. That's what's up. That's what's up. So hopefully this is a minor bump in the road, and if you're willing to risk the capital, then sure. It's nothing wrong with getting behind a company that's doing real work, and it's still relatively cheap at 0011, man. So I think if you're willing to go long on this, I think you won't be disappointed.
All right, sounds good. So I appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, man.
All right, no problem.
All right, so shout out to him for that MPWZ. If they can get that 10K in, they'll get that limited information thing got off. It's an OTC pink stock, but right now it's listed as limited information because they're delinquent. The volume will come in once all the paperwork is in order, because I don't mind trading penny stocks, but, it's risky enough, the fact that it's got so much incredible volatility when you trade these kind of stocks. But the last thing you need hanging over your head is the risk that the federal government can come in and freeze your money because the company hasn't produced any financial information on 60, 120, 180 days. You don't need that kind of risk. But if you're willing to risk, your capital on the line, then sure, because once they get that filing in, the money will come in. This was the same situation that we were in USEI. USEI, when I made that video, it was in the same situation, delinquent filings at 0006, and all of a sudden, the company got its act together, and it is where it is now. Okay. Yeah, RJetQ, RCPIQ, Bill Betts, the bankrupt companies, they're doing what they're doing. Let me see here. NAK. Yeah, NAK on the pullback. Actually, probably a good time to pick that up, by the way, on this pullback here to 290s. I'll look for support tomorrow on NAK, and then I would get in at that support if you find it. I'd get in at the support if you find it. Okay. I'm gonna write that stock down though, because it very well could do something, man. At 0011, and winning a Department of Energy contract, that's a steal. 916, you're on the air. What's up?
Yo, what's going on, man? I wanted you to check out EGLT.
EGLT. Now, let us know a little bit about the company. What do you like about it, man?
None. I really like the chart, to be honest with you.
Okay. EGLT. So you think this could be reversing?
Yeah. And what I really, really like is on the daily chart, the level of support that we have. And today was a really good day where we had a reversal at the bottom, and it's the first day in a long time that closed green on the day, which is showing a good sign of strength. I know it's a little expensive, but I could probably see a move for, I don't know, maybe $1 or something in this over the next few days.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we're at a support that it had hit back in November, just before the election, literally a couple days before the election, and it bounced off that low. So we're at the bottom of the canyon again, and it is leveling out a little bit. That was a real strong move today, where buyers really overwhelmed the selling in the stock today. So that was a real strong move toward the close too.
Definitely, and I've definitely seen a lot of trading volume, more than average, over the last couple of days, like showing that something might be going on. Maybe they know something we don't yet.
Yeah, I'll definitely put this on watch. What was responsible for that drop off earlier in the year?
To be honest, I have no idea.
Okay, all right. I'm just curious because I saw it moved higher and then it came right back down the same day.
More playing this as a technical type play, low float stock that could possibly be a runner. Has lots of short interest. Has a small float. Have a really high amount of shorts in it. And if this thing gaps up over the pre-market tonight and opens up tomorrow strong, we could probably see a nice squeeze out of it. We'll have to keep it on. I'm definitely got it on my watch list. I hope you guys do too.
All right, I'll definitely do that. I do see here it does have a real strong, lot of shorters on it too as well. You were right about that. Damn, a lot of high short interest on that one. So definitely appreciate the call on EGLT. Thanks a lot, man.
Right on, man. Have a wonderful night, dude. Keep on doing you.
Thank you. Will do. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Call back anytime, man.
All right, later, bro.
All right. So, nice call on EGLT. He's right. I mean, you can definitely get some people, who are short in this stock. If they drop some real serious news, it can really catch some people off guard. The buying today, 12 cents a share, was strong, but a 2% move isn't strong enough to scare anybody who's up 30-35% on a very long short position in the stock. This stock needs something, real big to catch somebody off guard. And it could very well happen. He's right. It is low float. $120 million market cap, 500,000 shares traded today. EGLT, he's right. It's not the cheapest stock in the world, though. It's not the cheapest stock in the world, but the stock wasn't necessarily a cheap stock to begin with either. I'm seeing that it did, trade at double-digit levels not too long ago, so it was never a cheap stock to begin with. But it looks like it has run into some trouble recently, looking to make some gains again. Yeah, it does need a catalyst. Exactly. It needs a catalyst. It needs something to really, get it underneath these, get some momentum underneath its wings. All right, guys. I think we've really run the gamut today of possible plays for tomorrow. And, the list isn't necessarily the biggest of what could run tomorrow. We've been doing a pretty good job of finding one or two stocks that are going to be, double digit the next day. I don't doubt that Dries could be it, but we are going on the third day. Now, Dries has always, typically on the third day, continued to run, but will it break tradition tomorrow? That's going to be interesting to see. Will it break tradition tomorrow and be like every other stock that runs on the third day in the red? We'll see. We will see. All right, but Dries tends not to disappoint. So I think that should be the number one stock you look at tomorrow, DRYS. There's my list for the day. Here's our list for the day. I still like TXTM. I still I like TXTL. I like MMEG going long. You know, I'm going to be doing some more research on some pennies that are right now in the sweet spot that could be turning up. MJMJ should be added to that list. MJMJ, I keep forgetting to add MJMJ to that list because that's another stock that you know, is slowly building a fan club behind it, and you'd love to see stocks that, you know, people really get behind. What happened to that MGTI stock? You guys remember that MGTI? MGTI, that's a stock today I saw in the chat room. People were bringing up about it. I was like, oh, I forgot about this guy. You guys remember that John McAfee guy? You know, this was a stock that once traded as high as $4 or $5, as you can see here earlier in the summer. Had an amazing run in the summer. And the bands are starting to get a little tighter now on MGTI. Could be making a comeback here. Not saying it gives me anytime soon, but I do remember seeing it today, and I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. MGTI is a stock that has done some things before. We're at 92 cents a share. It could be breaking down too. I mean, it could be breaking down too as well. You know, we do have support here at 73 cents. So by all means, be very mindful. As we can see here, the band's tightened. It exploded higher from 70 cents a share back in December to a high of $1.40. So we'll see whether or not it's trying to do something similar or looking to break down. MGTI is the ticker on this one. MGTI. Yeah, Trading Jedi say made a lot of money. Yeah, it could very well do something again. This is a stock that, you know, can run very aggressively on an acquisition news, or really any kind of move by its CEO. Okay. So it trades now OTC, and that doesn't mean that it can't make you any money, because we've seen that it can. All right. Appreciate that, Daniel B. Thanks for watching, man. Let me get this last stock here from Thriller Ali, QBack. And shout out to everybody in the chat room. Please press like if you haven't already. QBack, Qualstar, 328 a share. Let me see here. The yearly chart looks funny. Let me see. Hold on. 1 year. Here's the primary trend. Okay, so we're working out of a very bearish trend in QBack. $6 million market cap here. So this is a stock that probably should be trading on OTC markets, but very low float though. Very low float. I love the fact that they initiated a stock repurchase program, and this is low float as it is. They're initiating a stock repurchase program. That article came out about 40 days ago. Actually, let me see, about 60 days ago now, 2 months ago. And looks like it's trending higher since that news. All right. So you broke above the 20-day moving average in the 1 year chart. Let's look at the 5-day. The 5-day looks really nice. I mean, if we spread it out a little bit, go as far back. All right, so I like to see a lot more volume, though, man. Not much volume. You know, that's the only thing about this stock, man. Is, you know, it's moving though. That's the thing. It's moving. It is moving. I can't deny it. And you're probably never going to be any more than, you know, you're never going to be 1% of volume. And honestly, it probably isn't that big of a deal for if you're a small trader. You're buying 500 shares here and there, but you want to have the liquidity because you don't want to have to, you know, take any discounts when it's time to sell. You know what I'm saying? Volume gives you an honest price. You know, that's why you want a ton of volume going in and out of yours, because you want the most honest price you can get. And when you don't have liquidity, you're not getting an honest price. You're not getting, you know, a fair price. That's why in America we love competition, because competition gives you fair prices. When you have a monopoly, you know, in the market, 9 times out of 10, you're not offering people fair value for the product. You're probably selling it at significantly higher price than, you know, what it costs you to make and what you honestly should be selling the product at, because you're controlling the market. Why sell it at an affordable price? You have no competition. Same thing in stocks. Hey, Bill Betts, who did that? Who did that, Bill Betts? Somebody tell me what happened with Apple stocks. Let me see here, because I would have loved to find out what happened with Apple. Oh, man, somebody said it's fake gay shit. Somebody said it was some fake-ass gay shit, man.
We are here to
celebrate. Why is he wearing a fucking wolf mask, man? Why are people so fucking weird on the internet, dude? I swear, people so fucking weird, dude. He's wearing like a wolf mask. Have you guys seen this video? He's wearing a wolf mask and he's like probably using a damn simulator. That's some weird ass shit, man. Anyway, those were the stocks of the day today. Those were the stock of the day today. Yeah, this guy looking all weird, trading. I don't know if that's the right one. Weird ass dude in that video. Y'all can take a look at that one. That's a weird ass dude right there, man. But let me get out of here. I appreciate you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys for watching. It's another great episode. I hope you newbies learned a lot of tickers to absorb. I'm going to start a new thing tomorrow where we're going to, take some positions hypothetically and see how we do over the course of 5 or 10 shows, right? And see if we're doing as a group very well at picking shares to long over the course of a week or two. I think that's something we need to do because the day trading stuff is cool, but I want to see how we do over time. So that's a new thing I'm going to implement into the show tomorrow. So we're going to pick 5 stocks tomorrow to go long over the course of 7 days. And we're going to see how we do percentage-wise on our picks. All right? So please bring some stocks to me tomorrow if you can. We're only going to pick 5. We're only going to pick 5 among the other stocks we're going to review for the day. So I'll be back tomorrow. Wednesday is usually my day off, but I'll be back tomorrow because Thursday I got something to do. And I'll be back on the show Friday, but Wednesday I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be off Thursday. All right, so see you guys back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bad Scientist, thank you, man. Kind of late to the show tonight. Sinclair, thank you so much, sir. 3 hooks. Travie, thank you so much, Travie. Cali Girl, James Brown, Franklin Joe, Daniel B, Steve Gailey, thank you for watching, Steve. Who's that? Stock Skilla, appreciate it, man. Big ups to you too. Prolix, thank you for the call, man. Yeah, we like AMD and we like NAK, and we definitely like the NPWZ. I think it's a safe play. It's a little risky right now, but still a long-term possible runner. Appreciate you, EPAN. Londale Carter, the beautiful Coralie Simmons, appreciate it. Coralie, appreciate it. Jermaine Gill, Jeff Thayer, Mike. I know I keep fucking up your name, Mike. Yeah, Mike was making fun of me yesterday because I said laser, but it's Lazar, right? I hope I'm saying it right this time, Mike. Trading Jedi, thank you so much. I said put a disclaimer. I start every show off with a disclaimer. Lee Yu, thank you for the call, man. Oh, I actually don't think you called Lee Yu, but I would really like if you do call Lee Yu. You've been watching for a minute. Clay Vaughn, appreciate it, man. Devin Miller, thank you. Who else is in here? Haya Walk, African Emporium, Daniel B, Bill Betts, Thriller Ali. Shout out to all you guys, people. Speaker Knocker, new people, old people. Devon, appreciate it. Tina Price, thank you so much for watching. Mike Lazard. Wait, Mike, one day call up, bro. If I keep fucking up your name, one day call up, man. Call up one day. Have a good night, Michael B. I'll see you guys back in the same place tomorrow, same time. Happy trading. Happy, successful trading tomorrow. I hope everybody makes some money tomorrow. See you guys back here tomorrow, 8:30. But y'all know I'm black, so I kind of show up when I want to. 8:45, 8:50. Yeah, I mean, when you work for yourself, you can do shit like this, I guess. I'll talk at y'all tomorrow, man. Love you. Take care, everybody. Good night.